Hiya, things! How's everybody doing this lovely Sunday? I'm doing all right. A little bit of a change of plans for stream today, obviously, if you guys have noticed.
It's been 9 months. Who would have thought?
Thanks so much for the sub. Hi.
Another month, another pink thing stream.
Fuck
I was
yeah,
wondering
baby.
if you played the Rune Factory game series.
I've never have, actually, but thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. How are you guys doing? How has your week ended? Hi. Hi, Pink Gnome. Whoop! I am working on Sunday night. Oh my god, honestly, same. My mom called me and she couldn't believe it. She was like, Lily, it's Sunday. Why are you working? I was like, 'cause I have things to do. All of my bones hurt, ma'am. Oh, no. I've been playing Fantasy Life for like the last 4 hours straight. Oh god, remember to stretch. We're already going to hell for other reasons. You might as well work on Sunday. I have stuff to do, because if I don't work on Sundays, then it's a pain in the ass later. A year as a viewer and maybe 9 months moderating for you. It's definitely been an experience, Lily. Happy to be your friend. Thank you! And thank you so much for rejoining the channel, hon. Very much appreciated. I mean, like, the reason I work on weekends is because if I don't, the rest of my week would be hell. So I make myself have more free time on every day. I just work a little bit more on weekends. Hello! Did you miss me? It's been like a day. Hey, so no, no, let me explain.
Pinkus Thingus. I bear wisdom. Did you know migrating monarch butterflies live longer than the ones that do not? Up to 9 months.
Oh yeah, I actually did know this. Thanks so much for the sub, because I'm from Mexico, and monarch butterflies actually travel through Mexican forests to migrate. So I've gotten to see them a few times when I was out in the countryside, which is pretty cool. Of course Mexico has forests. Did you think it was all desert? Guys, Mexico is like jungle in the south, forest and mountains in the middle, and desert in the north. It's a gigantic country. Hi. Absolutely gigantic country. So yes, there is forests in Mexico. Is it strange / bad to have all my friendships be online ones? I try making IRL friends in college, but they never last. I'm a bit of a boomer. I think that you should try and have at least 1 or 2 IRL friends. You don't need a lot. But only having online friendships can be kind of tricky, and it can feel very lonely. They're obviously completely valid as friendships, but I think that you should try and have IRL friends at some point. It's better for your mentals. Or, better yet, try and meet up with some of your online friends. I mean, I've done that before. I know Steph, I know JC. I would probably go annoy the shit out of Wave when I could. Planning on going to annoy Spanish at some point soon, so. Oh yeah, no, the US is huge, but the Mexico's pretty up there. Now if I can annoy you first. I mean, come down to the island, bitch! And a lot of my former online friends are now just IRL friends. The best thing you can do is try and meet up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try Doom 2016 first, but I am keeping an eye out for Doom the Dark Ages. Then I start running. Unless you can run over water? Okay, no, I'm not doing Zenless today. Let me explain why. So, as I was setting up stream, as one does, I booted up Zenless, and I was like, well, I don't have all the units, right? But it's okay, because last time I did a character review on Zenless Zone Zero, I just used the test, the little test trials you can do with the characters, to see them. Guess what? They're locked now. So if you want to actually try out a character, you're either playing that story, or you have the unit. The little test that I was able to do for the last character reviews that let me use the 5-star units to like try them out and see how they worked, those are now locked unless you have the unit. And since I don't want to make my second character review with just the main menu rotations, I am going to need a little bit of time and maybe some help from the community to help me put together some turnarounds from the units I don't have.
My attempt to make spaghetti and meatballs was ruined by trying too many of the meatballs. So it's just meatballs only.
Oh, nice, though. Thanks so much for the super chat. Oh, no. Yep, so I can't actually look at the characters that I'm missing, so I'm gonna have to leave Zenless for another day. I'm gonna need the community to help me out there, because I don't have a lot of these units. I never noticed that Blizzard did. Yeah. I went into Zenless, and I was like, alright, I'll just use the trials for the units that I don't have. Nope, locked. Completely locked unless you have the unit. Training mode is locked. For the 5-star units you don't have, it is. Maybe someone can let you borrow their accounts. I highly doubt someone has all of the units. If you put on a list, people will be down to film the characters that you don't have. Maybe. That would actually be incredibly helpful because I was like, well, I can't do this last minute. Because the other option would have been to use the menu screens and the 2D renders, but then I don't like that as much as actually being able to see them in the field. I could have done the second half of the Gen 4 character review, but I wanted to announce that, so I decided I was going to do something different. I've been meaning to like talk about this anyway, but yeah, for Zenless, sadly, the game fucking bricked me out of the review because I don't have all the units. I haven't pulled in months, nor do I plan to. It's a fucking scam, and I don't like the gacha mechanics. But if the training mode is locked, there's nothing I can do. So I'm gonna have to ask the community to very kindly help me get 5-star units that I do not have, so I can put together a little video with them that we can actually use to talk about this, because I do like the designs and I want to talk about them. We have frowns on account sharing. No, you guys don't need to give me your accounts. Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out. I always do, but it's gonna need some time. You can replay main story missions. Yeah, but for like the flow of a character review stream, that's really slow.
I have all the units from sheer luck. You can borrow my account.
Like, technically account sharing isn't allowed, but how do you guys think all of those top-up websites work? I think it's best if you guys can help me maybe film a little, like, turnaround, or, like, rotate the camera while you have the enemy in training mode or something, and I can work with that. But the problem is that that's definitely not something I can do last minute. Hi! Lots of account reviews, videos, too. Coming from fighting games, that's a unique problem to have, to say the least. Yeah, like, it's funny because in my first Zenless review, I was able to go into the training mode for the 5-star units I didn't have, like Rina and Grace, for example, and look at them there, but now it's locked, so the new units cannot be used unless you have the unit, which I've missed a few banners, and I'm not about to give MiHoYo any more of my time or money, so it's better if my community helps me out, so we can actually look at the characters and analyze the designs without having to use just the 2D renders, because they're nice, but they miss a lot of detail. You and Zenless are not on speaking terms after last time. No me están cayendo bien. Cáenme bien, Zenless. Cáenme bien. Maybe we could send Discord videos of characters you're missing. Yeah, like, that's usually how we do that shit. Spanish usually sends me stuff for, like, the Monster Hunter things. What happened last time? Nothing really, like... Last time I got, like, I've gotten cucked on the 50-50 with every single unit I've wanted, so now I've decided that I'm not going to pull for Zenless anymore. But unfortunately, for character reviews, if you don't have the unit, you can't look at them. Hell, you guys don't even need to go onto the battlefield. Just by walking around with them, it would work, considering the fact that most of the units I don't have are newer ones. Because, like, the menu doesn't let me turn the model around. If I was walking around town with them, maybe I could, but I don't have that ability either, unless I have the unit. I think there's a mode that you can use the trial units. If there is, it's locked to the limited characters now. You can do like Hugo, but that's about it. So yeah, I need all the ones that I'm missing. Like, I think the last ones I reviewed was Chingy and Sujuan, because I'm missing Seth, I'm missing Jane, and everybody after that. Yeah, my day's going. We're fine, we're fine. So yeah, that's why there was a little baby change of plans for stream tonight.
Hey Lily, what are those diamonds in your hair?
It's a hair clip. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's a hair clip. I only have, like, this one, and, like, I don't always use it, but I think it's cute. Lily, either that's a PS5 problem, I can test them through the VR test machine fairly in Fairy Room. Works for, it works by me. Oh, yeah, that's great for you, but I can't do it, so... It's not something that I can do last minute. Sadly, I'm gonna need a little bit more time. And since I wanted to do the other Pokemon character review and announce it properly, I figured I would just talk about something else tonight. Is the hair clip made out of flesh? No, it's rose gold. Let me show you what I mean, because I don't think you guys are understanding what the problem is here. Did you actually delete Zenless and re-download it? No, I didn't delete it. I might have deleted it in anger, and then I was like, ah, fuck, I need it for something, I re-downloaded it. You can do some Marvel if you want. Maybe I'll do Marvel after we talk about the main segment I want to do for today, which we're going to get into in a bit. But I want to show you guys what the problem it is I'm having with Zenless right now. I thought your entire outfit was made out of flesh. Initially, but it just becomes fabric after I spit it out. If you want to replay Trials, you could just go into the HDD. But I haven't played any Trials in a hot minute, chat. Like, here's the thing. For a character review, going into, like, a story bit or a trial just to look at one unit, it's so fucking bulky and not, like, easy to navigate for stream. It's not even funny. It would really interrupt the flow of the stream. You guys would have to wait for me to load stuff in. Pain in the ass. It's better if we just wait, if a community can help me get the units that I'm missing, and we can just make a proper video where we only talk about the units. But, like, here's what I mean. Look. These cooperation exercises, before you could use all the 5 stars, right? But now, Evelyn, locked. Astra, locked. Pokra, locked. Trigger, locked. Ambi, locked. If you don't have the unit, you can't do these, and these are the ones that I use when I'm reviewing characters because it lets me run around and have, like, a full turnaround of the characters. Hi! I thought that's how they always work. Did I enter late? No, because, like, the problem is that since the first ones I was missing were from the standard banner, I didn't know this was a thing. So here's Imdiot. And normally I just set them to this and I look at them here. But sadly, limited units are locked out, so there would be no way for me to look at them unless I was looking at the main menu, and I'm not going to get the full design from the main menu. What if I want to check out the characters before compromising if I want to get it? I mean, you can do that. The agent stories are actually free to check out, and almost all the big story beats let you try out the units. You can do them, but like, look.
Ooh, we really harmonize.
The problem is, for me, is that just this view is not enough. A lot of character details are missing. I like the feet, for example, and I want to look at the entirety of the design, not just what the main menu shows me. You can check them when they're in their banner, and after that, it's gone. That's the problem. Since these are limited, we can't look at all of them unless I've actually, like, seen them in their banner.
Start the experiment.
Please, forgive me.
Hi, babe. Hi, daddy. Hi, daddy.
Lord Phaeton.
My loyalty lies with the winner. Looking for intel? Or hiring me for a job?
So yeah, I can't look at the full character here. So that's what happened with Zenless. That's why I'm not doing Zenless tonight. I need some time to actually put the video together. That outfit's so stupid, Ambi. Like, Bromo, the thing that you said only really works if you've been logging in every day and doing dailies and trying out units. I haven't been playing this game outside of for stream for months, so I'm locked out. You have access to the HDD. Yeah, but like, guys, like, holy shit, this is cumbersome as shit. Having to, like, reload something in the HDD for everything is so annoying. It's not so much that they lock content, it's just that if you're not in playing every day and trying out new units when they come out, you don't have access to them. For me, this is incredibly cumbersome, and it interrupts the flow of the stream terribly. Hold on, I'm gonna check something. Either way, I don't think I'm gonna be doing this tonight, because I do want to talk about the marathon thing. You cannot switch agents in trial mode. Okay, so I can't add new ones.
The client must be nearby. Huh?
This could be a problem.
And the problem is I'd have to skip story beats and... No French game today? No. We're gonna go back to French game tomorrow.
The first objective is the Ballet Twins control room. Please lead the way, legendary proxy.
So while I can't look at Astra here, I'd have to basically skip cutscenes and do a
Control
shit
room's
ton of
just
annoying
ahead.
stuff to even
Come
just
with me.
look at the character. Doing it via HCD is gonna make you rage within 3 characters. I'm already annoyed. What's wrong with Ambi's former uniform? It's designed like ass.
A peaceful interlude.
Yeah, it's too many steps for just one review.
Hi. Huh? Hi. Yeah.
We're not doing Zenless. I was popping in for a second.
Hi.
If the training zone doesn't have shiny stuff all around, it's distracting. Yeah, like, again, the main issue is that I would have to basically skip cutscenes and for every single character, and that would be super annoying. I don't know how it works exactly, but I've seen 3D artists with official Zenless models doing reviews. Maybe you can get the models and load them into Blender for turnaround. I don't have Blender, and those seem data mined.
That thing over there. Could it be?
Yeah, the community can probably help me put something together, no problem. I would just want to explain to you guys why we're not doing it today. And, like, the guideline icons go over the model. Like, I could do it with these, but the guideline icons go over the model. It gets in the way. So it's better if the community helps me put some stuff together. Because maybe not everyone has every single unit, but the people who do can very easily get up to turn around together. Once the character is officially released, they also release the models for free. Do they now? The problem is that I don't have Blender, and I don't know if I want to learn how to use the software just for this. If you guys can tell me where the models are available, though, I would very much appreciate seeing them. I highly doubt they released them for free, but alright, I'll bite. Where are they? Having to skip a bunch of cutscenes would also waste time. Yeah, it would. So that's the problem with Zenless tonight. That's why we're not doing Zenless tonight. So, like, we're not doing it tonight, but, like, if there's an easy way to do this, I can probably record a video on my own with these and put it together for a stream next week. We just need a little bit of time. Thank you for giving the flow of your thoughts in mind. I'm, like, above all else, I'm here to entertain, and I don't want things to get awkward or have weird pauses and have them not be understandable. Thanks so much for the sub. I found a source, but the models are stiff and T-posing. I would rather have them be a little bit more naturally posed, if possible. I might have to record the video on my own. Hi! You're welcome. I just don't want people to think that I didn't want to do it out of laziness or because something else came up. No! Far from it. I was actually really excited to do this. You should have seen my face when I realized before when I was setting up for stream. I was like, no! But now that we know, we can deal with it. I don't want to use ripped 3D models or any other programs or whatever. Like, if I can get them the most legit way as possible, I would do that. Anyway. So that's what happened. So, like, give me a minute to, like, recollect my thoughts and we can start on the actual segment. The actual thing I want to talk about today, in a second. Ugh, but yeah, it kind of sucks because I was, like, what, 20 minutes out before the stream started, and I went into Zenless, and it was like, wait, no. It's like, oh, fuck. But I'm gonna figure out a way how to do it. I always do. I am a resourceful beach, and I'm almost always ready to just do the thing that I need to do. Buy a Whales account. No! I I don't want that. Guys, like, I don't like gacha shit, so buying a Whales account would be supporting something that I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't pull anymore because of that. You think that you look at the HSR and Fake Grand Order crossover? Fake Grand Order, it's Stay Night. The Zenless models are officially released on the Chinese Bilibili, and Hoyo Lab folks have translated English links for the models. Yeah, but are they stiff and T-posing? Yeah, like, I don't like gacha mechanics. Zenless is a game I love, but I don't like the gacha part of it, if that makes sense. That's why I don't pull. But if someone does have the link to the models, by the way, please put it up in the Discord server and tag me. Because I think it could be very useful. At least check it out. Like, don't say I found this website. Link it. Pink Pink doesn't pay ransom to art kidnappers? No! I don't pull for units anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. Like, after I got cucked for the 50-50 for every single unit I wanted in this game, I was like, you know what? No, we're not doing this. I don't like the fucking baby's first casino scheme that MiHoYo's running over here, so it's best if I don't pull. I like the game, I don't like the gacha. Most models that I know are ripped and are found in DeviantArt. Like, there are some resources that I use for art, but they're not the models. They're like, it's the model, but it's in like a 2D format, and it's basically I use it for like clothing stuff if need be. That's like my one resource for Zenless stuff. Because these outfits are so complex, and sometimes they have hair accessories that I cannot ignore that I absolutely need them. Can you use the cooperation exercises? No, that's what I used to use, but they're locked. Apparently, if someone has played the game since then 1 and done the trials for the characters at least once, you can do their trials openly. That means I could just lend you my account. I don't want to borrow you guys' accounts. I appreciate it, but I don't want to borrow the accounts. But we'll see. Right now, though, like, we're not doing this tonight. I understand that some people might be disappointed. Believe me, I am too. But I'm not going to spend the rest of the stream, like, arguing about the Zenless thing, because there's nothing I can do right now. We'll get to it. We're probably gonna do it next week. But right now, like, let's just leave it as is. So no more Hoyo talk. So about the title on Stream Elite, I'll get there. Hold on, give me a second. I need to collect my thoughts. Yeah, we're gonna get to the real itinerary because it's quite the itinerary. There is a lot of stuff to talk about. Before I get started, though, I am aware of the situation. I know everything. That's why I want to talk about it. But we'll get there because I want to make a segment out of this for people who might not be familiar with Bungie or Marathon themselves. I do want to talk about a little bit about the game before we actually, you know, talk about the thing that happened because it's a thing. Like, I want to make content out of this, so if you guys tell me about it, or if you super chat it, I might low-key ignore you, I'm sorry, but I don't want to fucking blow my load before it's time to do so. Does that make sense? Want to tell a little story, especially for people who might not know what's going on. Because, God knows, I was not at all sure of what was happening before this, because I don't play first-person shooters. So I went and I did some research. I actually did the fucking YouTuber thing. I dove in. I researched a little bit. Hubby helped. Pink Thing, what is your wisdom? Do not blow thy load too early if you're trying to make content. Entertain. Entertain, entertain. Which is better than what a lot of streamers tend to do, most of them research. No, I've actually been reading about, like, the game itself. It has a history about Bungie, about, we're gonna watch some trailers too. And apparently, I've been watching some gaming news as well, because a lot of people are talking about it. Some people are actually, but we'll get there, we'll get there. So basically, learn for play. Yes, but for content. Edge your audience. Oh, yes. Yes, daddy, yes. Edge your audience. We need you guys, I need you guys to anticipate the fucking punchline, alright? Because, like, I'm not gonna spoil it. So if anybody, like, tries to tell me about it or super chat it, I'm going to ignore you. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm building up to something. So if you spam it in chat, I'm ignore your ass. Sorry, not sorry. Let's build up to it. So, Bungie, for those of you in chat who might not be aware, is the studio that was originally behind Halo. Although I'm pretty sure most of the people who worked on Halo have now fled into the sun because Bungie has become kind of the fucking corporate stooge workplace. But they used to make really good games. Hell, sometimes they still do. I don't know if they're still behind Halo or not, but whatever. Bungie, however, is also responsible for a decent amount of live service games. I do believe that they made Destiny 2, and now they were working on a new IP called Marathon. It's not actually new. Marathon was an old game that they made, but they have actually repurposed it to be an extraction shooter. Now, if you're like me and you don't know what that means, don't worry, because I'm pretty sure that the trailers are going to explain. So we're going to watch the trailers for Marathon. They made a cinematic trailer, and they made a gameplay trailer. About two things about Marathon, though, that are worth noting. The first is, it has a pretty interesting aesthetic. And the second thing is, apparently the character designs are a little bit ass. So, I want to talk about Marathon from an artistic perspective, especially considering what's happened. Yes, I know. We'll talk about it in a bit. But before I dive into that, I want to take a look at the game, at what Bungie has done with it so far, because I believe that the game is now in, the alpha is done. I believe they are in beta tasting. I personally think that they should fucking cancel this thing, but we'll get there, right? So for now, let's watch some trailers. The only things I've seen about this game so far is the very few things we've seen in events like the Game Awards or Summer Games Fest, but other than that, I don't really know much about Marathon, so I want to watch these trailers with you guys and kind of familiarize ourselves with what we're going to talk about, so let's get to it. Let's start with cinematic trailer. It's gonna be the next Concord. That's what people are like. That's like the rumor, right? At least character design wise. But I want to see. And this one was planned to be multiplayer live service. So let's watch the actual cinematic trailer first. Like, it definitely has an incredibly fun aesthetic for a sci-fi game. Most sci-fi anything is not usually very colorful. So far, like, I like the vibe of it. I'm gonna try and be, by the way, I'm gonna try and be as objective as I can here, like, right up until we get to the nitty-gritty anyway, because when it comes to the game's content, I want to see what the deal is before I pass any judgments, because I think that's the fair thing to do. I have no history with Bungie. I'm probably going to play my first Halo game at some point soon, now that I'm, like, what, 30? So for me, this is less about shit on Bungie and more about what's happening here. Let's get all the information. So far, good. So far, interesting. Very colorful. The jackets look dope. Like, the spacesuits look really cute. Like, they're very colorful. Usually stuff like this is not this colorful. It kind of reminds me of Splatoon, if that makes sense. Splatoon has an aesthetic that kind of fits this vibe, where you can very clearly tell it's post-apocalyptic. It's like low-key sci-fi, but it's also very, like, trendy. Oh, you're so dead. Oh! Barf! Yep. The thing, right, is that, like, if you were looking at this and you didn't know who made it or what the deal was, that you would not expect this to be an extraction shooter. For me, this was shaping up to be, like, some form of, like, sci-fi story-driven game about, like, solving a mystery. But no, it's a live service. .com.org. You probably think it's a horror game. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a horror game when I first saw this. Not this trailer, but like the little snippets. It used to be. That's the thing. We're gonna actually look at the old Marathon as well to see what the difference is. Before, it used to be a horror game, but now it's a live action, live service type of vibe. Let's keep going. It's kind of like... Oh. Ew! Ew! It still looks spooky scary, but it's not... I don't think it's gonna have a story campaign. That's the or if it does, it's gonna be very surface level, because most live services tend to not go super into story.
Land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk.
And they've actually been working on this game for a hot minute, I think, over at Bungie. So it's not a development that's new. If anything, there's been rumors that Sony has been pressuring the devs to release it before it's ready.
Whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold.
I don't get why, having such an interesting set of visuals and premise, you would not even entertain the idea of having a campaign. Of having one PvE campaign. Splatoon does it. And Splatoon is, like, mainly a multiplayer. And Splatoon is like Nintendo. Bungie's whole bread and butter is doing, like, a game that you can play on multiplayer, but also has a story. Like, Halo has a campaign, right? I'm not insane, right?
Till that it's going to well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless.
Like, it's definitely a very interesting aesthetic, for sure, when it comes to sci-fi. Is it super stylized up to a point? No. I think that the human like, fucking proportions are very realistic. But the thing I do like is the sci-fi aspect, which is why it's so sad that it doesn't have a single-player mode at all. It's probably gonna be one of those games that if you're not online, the game doesn't work, too, which would be so sad.
And the heart that fed.
But I don't think it's fair to call this game the next Concord. Let me tell you why. Concord had, like, no sense of identity. Marathon seems to at least have some sense of identity, which makes what we're going to talk about later even more annoying.
And once again, Alpha you shall feeling.
I mean, it feels just
Like, it looks
what
like you're gonna have
right?
outfit customization, you're gonna be able to design your weird marathon character. Like, it's very clearly you're not supposed to be human, and you can make some really unique, interesting stuff, but...
Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up, and will be charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so...
Like, I love the look of this. Why is this not a story thing? Why are you giving me the Big Brother setup and explaining lore about this world if I'm not going to be allowed to do anything but shoot at a 15-year-old who's going to be screaming slurs at me? Like, why? Just skip the fucking story formalities and go right to the fucking, gamer words. Damn.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah. It's supposed to be my lucky charm.
It's a leg. It's probably like Overwatch, stories outside of gameplay. Maybe, but I think it's a waste. It was also a waste in Overwatch, mind you. People love those characters. We did nothing with those inside of the game. Yeah, unlike Concord, I am seeing a very concrete sense of identity in this. It's very trendy sci-fi.
Can you identify her?
Yeah, that's... my mom. That's your mother, your mother.
Now, consider this.
Marathon was an already existing IP from the 90s that had an art style completely different from this. It was much grittier.
Thanks so much for the super chat. Yeah, we're gonna look at it in a second, too.
Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
It looks pretty cool, honestly. I never expected you to have any interest in just a live service tutor, though. I'm interested in it from an artist's perspective because of recent news. But I do want to talk about, like, the overall game's visuals and what we know about it so far before I get into what happened recently. And, like, my community doesn't know what this is, and neither do I, so I figured instead of all of us, like, seeing one video and just talking about the news, we could get to know the IP a little bit better together! Talking about one thing without talking about all of it does a disservice to the story. Yeah, I think so. I agree. We're going into this hole together, chat.
Hey, what's that you always tune into? Worth anything?
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
They all died.
It's not my business.
In this music.
God, that is an atrocious set of features. Christ on a bike. That's a FNAF jump scare right there, chat. Holy shit. Cheekbones. Scream about it. That looks so weird.
You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
Oh! Not for sale, you're dead now. The 15-year-olds have found you. But I've always thought if you're gonna do something sci-fi, why not use bright colors? Like, why do we have to make it nitty-gritty, just like fucking black and white and gray and like brown? No, like, this is more fun. Synthetic pigments. Give me something that I can look at this and think, oh, this is fake as shit. This was made in a lab.
The thing that's weirdest to me is that live service games have been considered a bad investment for a while. Sony has famously canned a bunch of live service games at once because of money issues, and yet some people are still trying so hard to push them.
Let me explain to you why that's happening. Big companies are notoriously slow. So while now that might be a bad idea, these companies started development for these games when it was a good idea. They can't see the future, chat. So for them, they're still like in fucking denial as a river in Egypt, and they know it's a bad idea, but they've poured fucking years and millions of dollars into these games, and it would be more of a waste to not release them. Sunk cost fallacy, completely. Gigantic companies are notoriously slow. It's much easier to fucking steer a rowboat than a fucking cruise ship, chat. And a company is a cruise ship. Oh! And dead. Like, definitely very interesting characters, for sure, but... I love the colors. And yet, like, we're seeing all of this, and none of this is gonna matter in the game. It's a waste, Bungie. Use it. If you're going to try and hook me in, if you're gonna try and set up a premise that's gonna make me interested in playing the game, use it. Story benefits us all. I know that some people don't like to play story, but like, give the fucking monkeys that like to fucking oonga boonga play game and not look at cutscenes, and monkeys affectionate, by the way, because sometimes I'm also like that. Sometimes I just want to play the game. Give us the option to skip it, and then the people who want to play the story can look at the story, and the people who just want to fucking wham but play the game can play the game. Why not give me that option? Isn't this a roguelike? No, live service extraction shooter. After this, we're gonna watch a video that explains the gameplay, which should, like, you know, tell us what the fuck is an extraction shooter and why should I care? Unless, like, you know, like Sony fucking, like, unless Bungie's like, Lily, no, and they copyright claim everything, which they shouldn't because I'm talking over it. So it's fair use. I will say, though, from what I do know about this game, what little I do know, these are the characters. It is similar to Overwatch in that you pick a character to work with, and that's the one you play. So far, though, I'm going to say that while the game has a very unique sense of identity, I'm not vibing with these as much as I want to. They're not stylized enough for how fucking funky the rest of the art style is. There is a dissonance there. I'm gonna go deeper into them later, but for now, surface level, the game's aesthetic is really funky and unique, but the character designs, it seems like they're just mannequins dressed in the outfits for the game. They don't fit the art style of the game. Does that make sense? Not to me, anyway. They feel generic despite the aesthetic. Yep, they're not stylized enough. This should be a game where the character should be hyper stylized. Like, at first I thought they were just player characters with clothes. I didn't think that they were unique characters. I thought that was like, oh, this is someone's avatar that they dressed up for this trailer. But alright, let's finish the cinematic trailer. Because for such a unique aesthetic, you would expect more unique shapes in the character designs. You good? Yeah, I bapped my hand against my keyboard. Oh, dead. Super dead. Parkour and out. The characters could be super fun and memorable, but instead they're generic. Also fun months being a thing. Yippee! Yay! Like, yeah, if these are supposed to be like the characters that I'm supposed to care about, the shapes of them are a little bit too generic for how weird the art style is. I would have loved to see some more play on shapes or some more stylized shapes. Like, you don't need the game to be like hyper realistic proportions and graphics.
My TTS message bugged LMAO, but yeah.
Oh, thanks so much for the sub. At first, I thought they were a generic player avatar, not a character. So they're missing that oomph that makes them their own character. They're missing their personal identity. And yeah, these are meant to be robots. And what they're listening to is music.
And on the pedestal, these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
And like, this seems so interesting, right? You'll see like 2 seconds of this, and then the rest of the game is gonna be like live fucking service, baby. Get your battle pass, baby boy. Do you wanna say some slurs? Connect the mic.
Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless wreck. Boundless.
Thanks for the follow.
Level sands stretch far away.
Don't ASMR me, I hate that. What, you don't like people sensually whispering in your ear? Joke's on you, no voice chat because toxicity. Oh, these games always have voice chat. Christ.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
They generally don't seem that interesting as like singular character concepts. But yeah, that was a cinematic trailer for Marathon. Looks pretty interesting, right? Despite being a live service, it has a pretty concrete sense of identity. Aesthetically, it's very fun. Character designs leave something to be desired, but other than that, it looks, at the very least, an intriguing concept. But it's an extraction shooter. Lily, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Let's go find out. Meow. It makes me kind of sad because if this was a story, I could already tell you it would be a horror thing that has a Groundhog Day type of situation. You die, you restart. You die, you restart until you fucking realize you're in a loop and you break the cycle, which could be a very interesting, like, cosmic horror concept, especially if all the characters are tied to the ship. I think the ship is, like, the Marathon ship, right? But sadly, we're not using that concept, despite the fact that it seems incredibly fucking horrifying and interesting. No, we're not using that. We're gonna make live service. If I was playing this game as a single player, I would be like, for how bright and colorful this is horrifying, and I want to get off. Stop the earth, I want to get off. Now let's see if the fucking people at Bungie can tell me, what the fuck is an extraction shooter and why should I care? Sometimes a dick is just a dick. Usually they're just a pain in the ass. Yeah. So this is the gameplay trailer for Marathon, right? Again, I like the colors and I love the aesthetic so much, which makes what we're gonna talk about later so fucking frustrating. This is the gameplay overview for Marathon. This game is now, I think, they're working on, they're out of alpha for sure. I think that they just did the beta. From what I gather, though, rumors are that Sony is pushing them to release this before it's ready. Most of the gaming news creators that I like to watch have mentioned that it does seem like some parts of the game are not at all finished or polished enough. So I hope that what happened, which we're going to talk about in a bit, gives the devs the excuse they need to delay this shit and really polish it. No, it's not a roguelike. It's literally an extraction shooter. I don't think Bungie can delay this. I don't think they can either, but here's the thing. If they don't delay it, it's very likely gonna flop. Bungie's one of those companies that, while not as bad as something like Blizzard or Ubisoft, their goodwill is fucking gone at this point. A lot of the goodwill for these bigger companies is fucking destroyed. So I don't know how bad it is at Bungie right now, but definitely people aren't excited about this as much as they should be. But Bungie's in trouble because Sony bought Bungie for around, give or take, $3 billion. 3 billones de pavinis, okay? And so far, Bungie hasn't made them back a penny. They have not seen a return on investment. So if Marathon flops, it might just be the end of Bungie as we know it. This is the game that's supposed to make a shit ton of money. And, if what the news we're going to talk about in a bit are true, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good, not even a little bit. I will say that I have no idea what possessed Sony to spend that much money on Bungie. And what Bungie, I know what possessed them to fucking take the deal. It's so much money. But it was not a good idea from the get-go to go in and like acquisition a studio like Bungie for that amount of money, especially if they didn't have any really big projects lined up at the moment. Because like, here's the thing, right? Like I said earlier, the tides of fucking the whims of fate can change in an instant. Consumer habits are changing. People don't like live service games as much as they used to. So what was a good idea 8 years ago is not a good idea now. And for Bungie, they need this to be a hit or they're going to be in big trouble.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter.
I hope that these aren't final graphics, Bungie, because that looked fucking flat as shit.
Of Tau Ceti 4. You.
Because, like, the human features are very shaded and a little bit more detailed, but the environmental, at least around the ship, is very flat.
Are a runner. A cybernetic mercenary who's given up their
You know what they should do with games like this, chat? They should make the advertisements the same way that Team Fortress 2 did. Like, meet the scout. Meet the runner, bitch. Like, I would really, really love it if we had more fucking adverts like that.
An extraction shooter is a game where you go into a map with a team or alone, and you go and try to get as much valuable stuff as you can and extract with your loot. Die, you lose everything, including everything you came in with, meaning you'll have to start over again.
Oh shit, really? So it's like the fucking, thank you very much for that super chat, by the way, thank you for the sub. So it's kind of like the WoW World of Warcraft hardcore mode, that if you die, you lose all your stuff and all your levels and you have to start from scratch. That seems frustrating as shit. I guess some people might really like that, though. Like, that sounds sweaty. Giga Sweat, thank you very much for the super chat. That's incredibly generous. Thank you for explaining. I don't usually play live service games, so this stuff is completely new to me. Permadeath? Yeah. High risk, high reward game. Not permadeath, but it's kind of like when you die in Minecraft and you lose all your shit. Not the levels, but the gear you walked in with. But then what if you can't get it back? So you'd have to, like, fucking grind to get all of it back? Ugh, gag, no. So you have to go, like, fucking murder hobo to get more loot? Sony already canceled Concord, and they canceled this. That's so many millions they would have lost. Oh, yeah, no, and you know what? I can't say serves them right, even though I really want to, because I know that managing a company that size is incredibly difficult, and these games have been in development for years. The problem with Concord, though, is that nobody asked for it. And Marathon is at least an older IP that Bungie had, so... You assume characters here have enough personality to make TF2-like videos? They could, though! Valve is magic, and they made me laugh so hard.
Shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and
that kind of looks like if you go to
combat.
Hawaii at like noon and nothing is like rendered. Have you guys ever seen those zero shadow pictures? They're so creepy, but that actually happens IRL. No, I need to fucking show you guys. It looks like this. Hold on.
Capable.
Like this looks like those like zero shadow pictures. Like if you go to like some place that's like really sunny, and if you stand in like precisely the right space at precisely the right time, there's like no sun. Everything looks like rendered. Oh, I hate it. Marathon looks like it has play texture graphics, not texture. The cinematic trailer was really well textured and lit, but this one does look play texture Lily level, yeah. Full brightness! I remember pictures over Hawaii like that. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I found one! Como si alguien hubiera apagado las sombras en el Matrix. Sí, güey, pero existe de verdad. This is what it looks like. This is called Zero Shadow Day. This is what it looks like when the sun is like precisely like in the middle of the fucking sky and nothing casts shadows. This looks like a pre-rendered asset. This is not Photoshop. This is real. It looks like a 3D pre-rendered asset. Like I fucking opened up Unity and boom, there you go. Ew. It looks like you just fucking dropped it there. When it's high noon? Yeah, literally high noon. That's awful. That's what fucking Marathon looks like in this fucking gameplay trailer. Holy shit, Bungie. It looks so natural. What the fuck? It's real! That is not real. It's so real. It is. It's real as fuck. It's graphics IRL sucks. I know, right? What engine are we running? This simulation's shit. That's why in movies, whenever they're doing like a CG heavy or purely CG environment, when they try and simulate daytime, it kind of looks like shit because you're just gonna... Because like making actual simulated sunlight is so difficult. You're gonna get shit that looks like this. That's literally a Gmod map. I refuse. No, it's real. Anyway, Marathon. Can God update the engine already? He's busy. But it looks like that. That's exactly what this game looks like. I hate it here.
All of both tactical and fast-paced combat.
I've seen the GTA 6 trailer, but we can't watch them on stream because Rockstar, I think is that the name of the studio? Rockstar literally copyrights every single person that looks at the trailer and fucking makes content about it.
Of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest.
Like it's so colorful.
In zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats.
Otherworldly threats is that 15-year-old that's gonna yell at you.
For glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge.
See, like, I like the interiors. The interiors look really nice. Lily is the otherworldly threat. Baby!
Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and
do you think that it's better than Concord? At least aesthetically, yes. At least it has identity. Concord had no identity whatsoever.
Equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can.
Get the fuck out.
Get alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault.
Oh, dude, I would...
Death.
Here's the thing, right? I'm the bitch, chat, I'm the bitch that when I was playing, like, Tears of the Kingdom, if I got a good weapon, I never used it. It stayed in the Horde forever. Do you think if I played an extraction shooter, I would use any of the good weapons? No! I would hoard all of them, and I would never use them. Never!
Not everything bad is conquered.
That is very true. Thank you very much for the super chat. Never! Yeah, that happens a lot in this genre. I wouldn't use them. I wouldn't touch them.
Hi Lily. If you were being paid to play one video game, and your wage was based on your performance in said game, which one would you be playing?
Ooh, definitely not platformers. Give me Elden Ring, though. I'd be a millionaire. But yeah, no, apparently this actually doesn't have voice chat, so I guess we're safe from the gamer words from children. You better use them, because every season they do an inventory wipe to reset everybody. What? Ew, why? Oh, I'm so offended. Ugh. But, like, guys, isn't voice chat kind of crucial in this genre of games? Like, don't you kind of need that shit to communicate with your teammates and whatnot? Like, why would you get rid of the... Ew, you mean I can't hoard my shit forever? And that's why I don't see you play games on direct. You give me anxiety. Oh, no! Only a little bit. I play like an animal. I'm not sorry. Thanks so much for the follow. That was a noise. I was offended.
I hate extraction shooters because that's already my life. I don't want to spend my free time digitally scavenging for crumbs and being menial labor.
And getting fucking shot in your robot face for it. Thanks so much for the super chat.
Is inevitable.
You would do it on Discord with your friends. Okay, no, this is actually kind of corroborating the rumors from other video game news people that say that they feel that the game is unfinished, because voice chat is kind of a primary component of live service games like this. Why is it missing such a crucial element? Maybe they'll patch it in later, but
It's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents. And in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top.
Is this supposed to be free to play? I don't think so, no. No, this is kind of like, those games that, like, you pay for the game and you can get stuff in, and there are, like, microtransactions in shop, probably, like, cosmetics and shit. But for the most part, you do pay for your copy. Nope, not free to play, but it's not full price. It's $40. I don't see how they're gonna make that return on investment with Bungie. I don't know that much about finance, but, like, if they don't sell a shit ton of copies, they're not gonna make back their money, are they?
Luck. Factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay.
Could you imagine if Halo was this colorful, if I had, like, a neon pink Cortana? I mean, I do, but, like, that would be really fun.
And customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run.
Like, if I play multiplayer Halo, my Master Chief is gonna be pink. I'm sorry. You can make Master Chief wear cat ears and Halo actually. Perfect!
Or high-rolling with powerful gear. You'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how.
I hope this game has friendly fire.
How geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings.
Give me fucking friendly fire like in Helldivers, which I love.
Out to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if
did Bungie not make a lot of money off Destiny 2? They did, but they haven't made back that fucking $3 billion investment. And from what I gather, Destiny 2 is not at all doing well right now. See, this is why I need to play more shit, because, like, I am versed in gaming news, but there's certain genres that I am wholly unfamiliar with. So I'm kind of learning on the fly with you guys.
To revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill.
Oh, fuck yeah, there's friendly fire, but...
as a solo runner. No two runs in Marathon ever play out the same.
As an avid Destiny player, Destiny's in a tough spot with player opinion right now. Nope, my brother used to play Destiny 2 a lot and hasn't touched it in like a year now. Ooh, the death of the live service.
Events, variable
Bye.
weather, and unpredictable players. You'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and Ghost past
Oh yeah, you
your
can become
enemies.
stealthy. That
Search
water
the
has
map
no
for rare
texture.
materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends. Grab extra
See, the thing about
equipment,
Halo is that you
shield
can drive cars, rocket jump, and play 8 versus 8 team matches. That just looks like the same copy of pace of 3 versus 3 shooter game. Halo was unique. Like, aesthetically, like, for me as an artist, aesthetically this game is very interesting looking. Gameplay-wise, I'm not familiar with first-person shooters, so I don't really know.
charges and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions.
Yeah, I want to learn more about the video game industry in general because I do think it's interesting the amount of shit that happens in this industry. It's funny, right? Because gaming wasn't this, like, huge, gigantic thing until, like, what? The early 2000s? That's when it started growing, and now it's insane. But now there is a changing of the guard. Slowly but surely, there is a changing of the guard. Consumer preferences are changing. The big AAA studios aren't doing so hot in some aspects. Smaller AA devs are making some amazing stuff. So here's the thing, back in the day, the game development could be like around a year, depending on how many assets are necessary, making it catch on to trend easily. Some popular franchises are the result of that. Nowadays, like FIFA, nowadays, even simple projects take 3 years at least. So it's impossible to catch on to a trend, and a lot of games come out when people are already over it. And with a lot of them failing as a result. We're basically dealing with an industry that hasn't realized that it's not the same as it was. Yeah, actually, exactly. That's actually what I was going to get to. But here's the thing, right? This is why, and I cannot fucking say this enough, we don't need to make products, we need to make art. A game like Clair Obscur is timeless. We do not need to make a product, we need to make a piece of art. We need to make something that people are going to want to play. Give them a reason to want to play it. Let's not make fucking vapid, soulless, live service shit anymore. Let's try and go back to our roots as gamers and play games that are just artwork. Hollow Knight is artwork. Nier Automata is artwork. There's so many fucking games out there that you can play years and years and years after the fact. Hell, I played DMC3, which is a game from 2006. Loved it. Jank and old graphics aside, fucking loved it. We need to make art again. Because that's the only way to keep up in this industry, because game development, good game development, takes at least 5 years.
Limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start.
And the fact that we're already selling this as a season already is like, ugh, because that you're gonna need a battle. There's gonna be a battle pass, cosmetics. It doesn't feel like you guys want me to have an experience. It feels like you guys want me to consume a product. And that type of disingenuous thinking already puts people off, especially people like me who might be new to the genre.
I'm willing to give Marathon a shot purely because of the art style. I hate it when games or shows that have amazing and unique art styles fail because of things not art related.
The game's aesthetics are definitely unique. Thank you very much for the super chat. I like the look of them. I do. Like, for a sci-fi game to be this colorful and this trendy looking, it's definitely something that I haven't seen before. Ace Combat is the tits, and I have the music on my phone. On my iTunes.
Remember, you're only ever one run away.
For some reason, for a game about fucking flying planes, the music goes hard as fuck. If I was a pilot, I would be playing Ace Combat music while I was fucking flying my plane. And then I would be doing loop-de-loops and shit, and everybody in the fucking cabin would be crying.
From your next big score.
All right. And that was the gameplay trailer. Now, I'm not a fan of the extraction shooter bit because multiplayer games don't really do it for me. I prefer to play single player because I am a little baby goblin. And it's funny because I say I want to play games in my fucking cave by myself, but I do it with an audience. Either way, though, I don't always love multiplayer games unless it's something super chaotic like fucking what, like Marvel Rivals where I'm playing 14.
To keep myself from being disappointed with video games, I just stay in my lane and consume what I know I like. AKA Capcom and Souls-likes.
Thanks so much for the super chat. Like, while I do think it's good to consume what you like, don't close yourself off. Actually, opening your mind, being open-minded about gaming can introduce you to a wealth of new experiences. Like, if you want to get into different games, and I think that you should, research stuff before you buy them. There's a lot of really good resources, game reviews. If you don't trust the Metacritic score, there's so many content creators that play video games that can give you a pretty honest opinion. Not everyone is biased, not everyone is into the culture war bullshit. There are genuinely some people out there who just tell it like it is, tell you, the game has these good things and these bad things, and it's up to you if you want to buy it. What are Hobby's thoughts on this, if you don't mind me asking? It's similar to mine. Like, again, Hobby actually really helped out with the research for this segment. He helped me put all the materials together. So he's aware of the situation also. I maybe could ask him for his thoughts in a bit once we actually get to talk about what happened. But before that, I want to look at the characters first real quick. There's not that many of them. You never thought, well, you would have never thought of touching Doom 2 years ago. Oh, never. Hell, I'm only a fan of Spider-Man now because Burple and Hubby cajoled me into it. I only like TF2 because you and Hubby cajoled me into it, and I love it now. So yeah, just keep an open mind. Alright, now let's look at the characters real quick. So far, there are not that many. But, like, I will say this. The character design in this game, missed. It bothers me that the game has such a unique sci-fi aesthetic, and instead of making cool stylized hero characters like a la Overwatch, we're making like Roblox characters. This looks like something I can build with a Lego. Like, it has no identity, no personality. They're wearing the clothes that fit the aesthetic of the game, but the actual character has no identity. It's very colorful but bland. It's like green eggs and ham with no salt. This tells me absolutely nothing. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what your damage is. They look like test mannequins. Yeah, these look like fucking pre-rendered assets that you put into the game to test out the game.
Do you know about the anti-real art style theft?
We're gonna get to that. Thank you very much for the super chat. Like, when you're making a character-based shooter, you don't want your fucking characters to look like mannequins. You need a little bit more. These are actually, they actually missed the mark big time, I think. Like, the cinematic trailer had some interesting designs, but they felt like player avatars, not like unique characters. So my thoughts on these are, I can't really tell you what their deal is, and while there is some interesting choice in color work here and there, they're bland. They're really bland. Like, this dude is called Locust, I think. Locust? Locust. But, like, for me, it looks like a player avatar proxy, not an actual character. Maybe the other three are better? There's a bit more pizzazz here, but this is just Candy Cane Master Chief. It really is a little bit, like, is the design itself bad? No. But does it tell me anything? Also no. Like, Space Soldier, that's it. That's all I'm getting here. And that's about it. I don't hate it, but I'm also not, I feel indifferent. And when you are designing a character, making someone feel indifferent means that your design is not memorable, sadly. That's just Destiny 2 armor. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Never played. This one we saw in the trailers. Fucking ookie spooky face, but Again, same thing. They're wearing cool outfits, but the characters are not at all stylized. There's no personality here. Again, bad designs, not necessarily, but they're not good either. They're very bland. They're just there. It's not like Concord, where some of them were just god-fucking ugly. These are just forgettable. What about your character who's meant to be a mannequin? This is actually a serious question. Then you can have a character that looks like a mannequin, but I don't think that was the intention here. You're gonna have to be careful. It's gonna be really hard to not make it generic, to not make it generic, yeah. And in this game, you don't want generic, especially if it's something with heroes. They're crash test dummies. They look like crash test dummies. I think there's one more. This is the one that we saw the most in the trailer. I think this is the one that had the most design, at least for me. But again, same problem. I'm not really getting what her deal is. I don't know what her motivations or goals are. I don't know what her job is other than run fast and shoot things. Cool outfit. Bland person inside of it. Like, I don't know how to explain this, because if you ask me if this design was bad, technically speaking, no. But with how forgettable it is, and I would forget this in 2 seconds, you'd think that they would plan something a little bit more fun, because they have Master Chief, and that dude's fucking iconic. And then they have stuff like this, where the environmental design is amazing, and the aesthetics look really, really cool, but then the characters just kind of miss the mark?
We have Tracer at home.
A little bit, but like more punk, mannequin, weird Tracer. Thanks so much for the super chat. These are not good colors to look up together. No. There is something to be of note about the color scheme in this. It's not bad. But when the character inside of the clothes is just a mannequin and not an actual character, that's usually when you miss the mark a little bit. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's just, you should be able to tie all of this together to make something interesting, and I'm not getting that. Not even a little bit. This is bootleg Mexican flea market Tracer. No, not even. It's a very different design, but it's just not... The thing that the Overwatch heroes had, and it's something that Marvel Rivals now has too, is personality. A shit ton of personality. These don't feel like they have... I'm pretty sure that if I fucking stand them side to side, they're gonna look exactly the same. They're gonna have the same idol. They're just gonna be like, meh, that's it. It's very forgettable design. Very, very forgettable. Do they even have names? They do, but it's not gonna matter, is it? Like, you can tell that there were artists on the team that knew what they were doing, but for some reason, at some point down the line, they just did not tie things together well.
Not much meaning behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, we came up with this really cool aesthetic, but we didn't find a way that made it tie it all together in a way that makes it interesting to look at. The color palette is dissonant on purpose. I don't think this one is too much because the entire setting of Metaphor has very dissonant color. Marathon has very dissonant color palettes. Very, very dissonant. So this chick having a dissonant color palette is not necessarily a bad thing. I just think that like there was a lack of cohesiveness within the art team, which gave you really cool environments, really cool game aesthetics, but the character designs are just not quite there. But now, let's look at the old Marathon, just to see what we were originally working with. This is the one from the 90s. This is deleted old. Oldest dicks, chat. This is Marathon back in the day. Oh yeah, if you need a fucking refresher after all of this fucking bland bullshit, go get some gamer subs. Remember, we still have free shipping until next week, so take advantage of that while you can. Only if you use code Kinkimation at checkout, though. So, like, this is very, very different. This seemed almost like a single-player campaign type of vibe. Almost horror game-ish. Kind of reminds me of old Doom. But more sci-fi. So this is old Marathon. And in this one, the ship was in space. In the new one, the ship is on the ground. I think it crashed.
These aren't skins. They look like random cosmetics mashed together, like TF2, where you could create some cursed and unrecognizable outfits.
Yes, but in TF2 that was comedy, though. Thanks so much for the super chat. Yeah, the original Marathon was a Doom clone. This feels like a Doom clone. Oh, by the way, no audio here because this is just music and I don't want to get copyright struck. Marathon 2 Durandal. Yeah, so like the Marathon games aren't anything new. We're basically, what happened here is that Bungie took the IP and instead of making another single player game and reviving the franchise the same way they did with like Doom, for example, they just decided, fuck it, we need another live service. Which is a shame, because the premise for Marathon being a single-player game seemed more interesting to me than whatever the fuck they're doing with the live service. They tried to Fallout 3 an old IP. Yeah, they tried to flip this into a live service, and I don't think it's working. I wonder what the Marathon story is. They're probably gonna have, like, episodes and whatever, but, like, it still feels very surface level compared to what we could have with, like, an actual campaign. That's the problem, right? Making it, like, season episodes is never gonna give you the full story, and it's gonna be way more boring. They're just straight up trend chasing, honestly. It's like I said before, this game has been in development for a while because gaming companies take forever to do shit, so development lasts a few years, and trends change very quickly. There's nothing recognizable in the new one. The visual identity is completely different. Oh yeah, they just took the name. Like, from what I'm getting, they just took the name. They're absolutely trend chasing. The Marathon creative lead said that he got the idea for the game by playing Tarkov. Why call it Marathon if you're just using the name? Because they probably have some sort of callback to the original IP at some point. But making it a live service when you had this, like, initially, it's kind of a waste. They should have made an original game. Yeah. Marathon, as is now, should not be Marathon. It's a very different IP. The only Marathon-looking element in the trailers was Marathon itself. So Marathon is the ship, right? A lot of the ideas in Halo, story-wise, can be traced back to Marathon. Yep. So in this Marathon, it looks like the ship crash-landed. The ending of the original Marathon, the main character becomes a god that gets stuck in a time loop. And they were hinting at a time loop in the cinematic trailer for the new Marathon, so it's a shame that we're not going to see that being used to fruition. Found your videos on YouTube. This is my first time catching live. Hello! Welcome! So that was the old Marathon. It's very, very different than what we got now.
If there's time after, maybe take a brief look at the Apex Legends cast. It's similarly a cast of more realistic-looking heroes, but they do a good job setting them apart. Same devs as Titanfall 2. A shooter campaign you need to play one day.
So, now that we have a brief history of what Marathon is and what it used to be, we can get into the meat and potatoes of this. So, allegations have come out against Bungie from an artist known as, they write their name in Leaf Speak, I think it's Anti-Life. Basically, Anti-Real, sorry. Basically accusing the Bungie devs of essentially taking her artwork and straight up ripping it to put it into Marathon. Before people go nuts, there is some misinformation. They did not rip the entire game's aesthetic from this person. They used some of her work, not all of it. But apparently, she had evidence. And a lot of it. Evidence that would make any fucking lawyer salivate over representing her. I don't know if she's going to. I genuinely hope that she doesn't talk to anybody at Bungie, because holy shit, get a lawyer. But the allegations are that the Marathon the Marathon people, the art direction team, or rather the art team, stole her artwork to use to put in the game, but verbatim, like her actual logos, same icons, everything. Like, and she actually did make a series of tweets about this that we're gonna look at. So they didn't steal the entire aesthetic from her. They did take some stuff straight up from her, and they were definitely heavily inspired by her art style to make Marathon's aesthetic, which is why Marathon having such a unique aesthetic is really frustrating, because if they wanted to, they could have fucking hired her. It is lifted one-to-one in several cases, but it's not the entirety of the game's art style. So let's see. Okay. So this is from Anti-Real, who says, the Marathon Alpha released recently, and its environments are covered with assets that are lifted from poster designs that I made in 2017. So this is not new artwork. This is artwork that she made in 2017. Old. And we're going to look at some examples. Bungie is, of course, not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language that I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without pay or attribution. More examples. So he says, I don't have the resources nor the energy to spare to pursue this legally, but I have lost count of the number of times that a major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or steal my work than to write me an email. In 10 years, I have never made a consistent income from this work, and I am tired of designers from huge companies moodboarding and parasiting my designs while I struggle to make a living. So Anti-Real has every right to be upset here, because the people at Bungie looking at the examples, they deadass lifted this. I believe her poster's on the right? They deadass lifted the same fucking logo from these posters. Same typography, same spacing, same glyphs. They put that shit into the game verbatim, okay? See that Aleph logo? Dark Space Haulage Logistics? Like that kind of like really bright neon sci-fi? Everywhere in Marathon. Aleph. Verbatim, the same thing, same typography, same everything, right? You could attribute this to being something that they did not take out of the alpha, but I am not going to aside Bungie such good faith, because they have a history of doing shit like this. The other example is this poster. These two posters. Just straight up copying the logo, straight up copying all the icons that she made. Like, holy shit. Literally her logo. They just fucking flipped it. Like fucking rat thieves. They literally just grabbed her posters and lifted the icons and slapped them all over the fucking stuff in the game. Like, they're even in the same order, right? As the icons on the poster in the bottom. You have, like, her logo, and then you have a little, like, burst thing, and then you have something that looks like a little game controller, and then you have, like, this, like, weird fetus thing, and then a rock shark test, and then 2 little fucking kidneys, and then like a ring. It's the same thing. Literally the same order. They just flipped it. So while they did not take everything from Anti-Real to make the art style, they were at the very least swiping some stuff, and a big chunk of it, look at that. And not only that, they very clearly took heavy inspiration from her art style to fucking to design the game. That the artist made a glyph out of the Bloss meme, they stole that too. Look at that. It's exactly her poster. It's dead ass her poster. All over this game. Even her logo is in there. I am surprised at how blunt that copy pasting is. Like, you could try a little harder to hide your homework.
Oh hey, talking about the art theft stuff.
Yes, I am, because this does pertain artists like me. As a smaller artist, you're almost always going to sit back and be like, well, I haven't copyrighted this, but like, I'm such a small creator that no one's gonna like take it, right? Wrong. This does happen. However, nowadays we have the internet, so calling gigantic companies out for being cheap asses and not wanting to pay artists is entirely within the realm of possibility. What if it's AI generated and the AI stole her art as a reference? Nope, this is way too blatantly copy-pasted to be AI. AI would have made an iteration, not the same thing. When AI copies things, they make something that like looks like the thing, but it's not quite the thing. This is 1-to-1. Her signature's still right there, like her logo's right there, for fuck's sake. It's too 1-to-1 to be AI. It would be similar, but not exactly the same. Yeah, exactly. And this is exactly the same. So as artists, you kind of think like, oh God, could that happen to me? And the answer is sadly, yes. If you have designs that are really, really good, a lot of the times these companies will not approach you. They will just fucking swipe your shit. And unfortunately, unless we make a big stink about it, they're not going to do anything. I do believe that Anti-Real was completely within her right to be A, very pissed about this, and B, make a stink about it, because I think that Bungie needs to be called out. Because, newsflash, this isn't the first time they've done shit like this. Bungie has a history of stealing designs from smaller artists.
It's not artificial intelligence, it's natural dumb.
Yeah. This is completely a human thing. A person did this. Thanks so much for the super chat. And here's the thing. Right now, well, a lot of people have been saying, sue them, sue them, sue them. While she could sue them, I don't think she should do it just yet. Why not? The game isn't out yet. She could sue them for damages after the game was out. So, Bungie has tried to get in touch with her. I think that they've already talked to her, I think.
Bungie be like, we'll steal it ourselves.
Yeah, they genuinely stole this, and apparently allegations are that it was an artist that no longer works with them, but I don't believe that. But we're also gonna see Bungie's statement about this in a second. I just want to show you guys how blatantly they fucking plagiarized Anti-Real's work. Like, holy shit, it's shameless. Now, I want to show you guys Anti-Real's portfolio. This is stuff from like 2017. This is not in the game, but I would not fault you for thinking that it is, because it's very obvious that a lot of the inspiration for Marathon's aesthetic came from Anti-Real. This is her portfolio. None of this, well, some of this is in Marathon because they stole it, but this is not from Marathon. This is her artwork. You would look at this and you would think, oh, you work for Bungie, right? You were the art director for Marathon. No, she was not. They lifted so much of this shit.
Honestly, at this point, maybe they did steal the Red War campaign from that one writer.
Maybe. Thanks so much for the super chat. See, her logo's right there. Her at is Anti-Real, but she writes it in leet speak, so I'd have to actually. But if you type in Marathon on Twitter right now, you'll get the news immediately. So like this looks like it's from Marathon, right? Wrong. It's all her work. That's insane. I know, and it's so blatant. Like if you have a really strong design, and if you think that a company can't just come in and steal your bullshit, no, they can. And if they do and you catch them, here's what I would do. I would raise a giant stink, but I would not talk to them. I would lawyer the fuck up. Don't talk to anybody in legal teams from other companies, all right? If they come to you like, oh, what can we do to do this right? Don't talk to me. Dead ass. Okay, so these are the allegations from Anti-Real, right? But for some reason, that same day, the fucking marathon devs over at Bungie fired up a stream where they addressed the situation, and it's pretty dire. So let's look at that statement. You can feel the vibes. Like, the tension is so... You can touch the tension with a knife, chat. Look at that. They look like they're at a funeral.
Cool.
Wait, this is an official Bungie livestream and you guys have that much level of scuff? Sony, what the fuck? Where did those $3 billion go? The art director's face is so deadpan. The art director is either complicit or he did not at all catch this. He had no idea. And now he is the one, because like, here's the thing, chat. As the art director, you are taking the fall for this. As the art director, this is your responsibility. You are eating shit for it. I'm sorry. It's your team. You are responsible for vetting that everyone on your team is working with legal assets, original assets, not AI assets. You have to be the one to stand up and apologize and make it right because you represent the team. So this art director, rightfully so, looks like he just got a radioactive banana shoved up his dill hole. And it's extra sad because what most people said about Marathon when they first saw it was, well, at least the aesthetic is interesting, and now it turns out that it might be stolen. Praise of the aesthetic for Marathon is one thing we like. It's stolen. You cannot make this shit up. It's AAA, baby!
Yeah. Well, we can start letting in the Discord audience before we're fully streaming.
Like, we have Scuff and Sony.
Let us know when the actual stream camera is up.
And the art director follows the artist. Here's the thing, right? It's actually been proven that almost every artist involved in Marathon follows Anti-Real, and they have been for a while, so it's not looking good.
I'll let you know, too.
Look at his face. Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, you can't steal an aesthetic, but it's very clear that it took very heavy inspiration from Anti-Real's work and straight up lifted a lot of it. Like, just inspiration would be fine, but when you add that to, like, literally putting their logo in the game, it's like, dude. Is it the one on the left or the right? The one that, like, the one in the green sweater that looks like he's just eaten his last meal. His face says, I really wish I wasn't here. And I was like, did we have to do this stream today?
We've got some spelling errors in there.
Oh, yeah. Twitch is live. Twitch is live.
Hi, Twitch.
He looks like he's about to cry. I would be holding back tears. I would be like, I would be about to puke. The news about the art theft drops hours before the stream. I guarantee that nobody wanted to after that. Like, the fucking timing. It's almost like Anti-Real knew and she wanted to fucking make their lives difficult, but, like, she had no idea. Remember when your mom caught you doing some shit and your stomach felt like it was turning upside down? Imagine that, but in front of millions of people. Yeah, I would be crying. I would literally be crying. I would be like, ugh.
We'll get started in a second.
I almost feel bad for the art director. If he really had no idea, I feel bad for him, but considering Bungie's history... Oh, look at his face.
Is Discord live? Discord.
Also, why is there so much scuff? Not even I have this much scuff and I fucking run this shit by myself with like my fucking oven setting up my audio. This is a fucking studio that cost Sony $3 billion. Why do we have this much scuff? We don't even have the proper microphones for this. What's wrong with you? No pop filters, no nothing.
To my left here or potentially on right on your screen, depending on if it's mirrored, is Joe Cross, everybody's favorite
Ugh.
Joe, our director of the One Marathon.
Puta. No
sitting
mames.
across from
Microphone.
me, who's not
I
on
just
camera,
heard that all
is
the way up to my brain.
One Marathon. Sitting across from me, our director of the One Marathon.
Oh my god, no! We couldn't even put up a pop filter? Seriously? You should see Hubby's face right now. He's losing his shit. Hubby's listening in because he's the one that did most of the research for this. Now I get why he was laughing earlier. Unwanted ASMR. This is so fucking awkward. Holy shit. The microphone stuff. Not even I have microphone stuff like that, and I'm one person.
From me, who's not on camera, is Andrew Witz, gameplay director, and we're gonna spend some time talking about some stuff today. Our show is a little bit different today.
Also, it's
We
unsynced
planned
as
actually
fuck.
to show a lot more.
Holy shit. Sony. Bungie. Like, this is, I'm sorry, this is Kino. This is cinema. You could not make this shit up if you fucking tried, chat. Part of me feels really bad for them, but a bigger part of me is trying really, really hard not to laugh because this is comedy gold.
More stuff, but
This is
for a lot of
Kino.
reasons
This is cinema.
we're about to get into, we decided not to show a bunch of this stuff, but we are going to be discussing a lot about what we learned through Alpha, some of the plans that we're going forward with.
Could you imagine these like massive allegations against you dropped and you have to stream, and instead of just getting right to it, getting it out there, like just getting it over with, you have to deal with 15 minutes of audio scuff while your fucking lead developer spits into a microphone with no pop filter, busts out the eardrums on everyone on Twitch, and you're just sitting there, clenching your fists on your knees, sweating, about to cry because you have to address this incredibly serious issue, but the stream just does not get started. It's fucking... Am I terrible? Because this is it's comedy. I'm so sorry, chat. Like, we just need that little song like with the recorder that's like deep 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 beep 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 beep. That's what we need right now. We need that. We need awkward music, chat.
But before we get into that, Joe Cross has some sort of topic that he wants to talk
Some
about.
sort of topic. Some sort of topic. No, this is not some sort of topic. You guys have been fucking massive shit because everybody knows about this now. This blew up. The gaming news content creators are all covering this. All of them. Like, I heard at Hubby looking at least 3 or 4 different sources from both sides of the goddamn culture war admonishing Bungie for this. And normally they don't agree on anything. It's like the second time lately that they've actually agreed on something that they agreed that Bungie is in the wrong for this and that Claire Obscure is actually really good. So yeah, everyone is covering this, so they're screwed.
Thanks, Joe. And hey, everyone. I'm Joe Cross, franchise art director of Marathon.
It's unsynced.
Yeah, and wanted to take a minute to talk about some of the events from yesterday. It came to our attention, and sorry, I wrote this. I
would cry. I don't know how he's saying this with a straight face. I would have tears pouring down my cheeks already. Like...
I get this message right. It came to our attention that an artist who worked on Marathon in the early stages of
I
pre-production...
love how we're pinning it on an artist that may or may not be real that used to work on Marathon.
Took a number of graphic elements from a graphic designer without permission or acknowledgement.
A number,
and placed
most
them
of the
on a
fucking
decal sheet
aesthetic.
that was then checked in 2020. The decal sheet included icons and text elements. These elements ended up in our alpha build, and there's absolutely no excuse for this oversight, and we are working on and 100% committed to our review process to ensure instances like this.
But here's the thing, right? They don't have time. They might say this, but they are not going to have time to change out everything because the game has to come out in September. Sony will not let them delay this. They should. They really should. But Sony needs Bungie to produce a hit because if they don't, that $3 billion investment is going down the drain faster than Nemo did in the movie when he pretended to be dead.
Won't happen again on Marathon or at Bungie.
It was an artist, not us. Yeah, we don't even like name any artists or like give any details other than like, oh, they used to work here. I've made a server and continuous lapse, severe and continuous lapse of my judgment. Ass apology. Yeah, like, as far as apologies go, it's not a very good one because at the end of the day, what they should have done was try and hire anti-real immediately.
A few of the things that we've done over the last 24 hours and what we're doing to shore up the review process are as follows. We've reached out to Anti-Real.
Anti-Real? Do not fucking talk to these people. Do not talk to these people. My father-in-law is a lawyer. He will tell you the same thing. So, in the any off chance any artists in chat might be watching this, if a big company steals your shit and you call them out on it and it blows up and they try to get in touch with you, say nothing. Say nothing, get a lawyer. But literally, they can't afford that. So many people are willing to work with Anti-Real pro bono. Get a lawyer. Because if you talk to these people, they will use it against you in court at any chance they get. Do not say a word to these ghouls, all right? Because that's what they are. That's what corporate lawyers are. Sorry, not sorry. They're kind of ghoulish. Do not talk to them.
Hire Anti-Real, then lay them off when game flops.
Yeah, no, they would actually. Thanks so much for the super chat. So, like, don't, because, like, if they send you an email and they're all really nice and friendly, and you say something like, "Oh no, it's fine. I just want to resolve this," they're like, "You said it's fine. You can't sue us anymore. Fuck you." So, do not talk to them. Anti-Real, do not talk to them. Lawyer the fuck up. You should, honestly. Right now, she should not sue. The game isn't out yet, but once the game comes out, sue them for damages. In the States, for civil litigation, you have to prove damages, and since this game has made no money, that's going to be really hard. The best course of action would be for her to gather all of this evidence, and this is so fucking blatant that Bungie would lose this case immediately, by the way. And once the game comes out, sue. I've guaranteed multiple hours have already reached out for her in this case. Yeah, probably, and she should accept their help. They should. The problem is that the suits would drag it out until she runs out of money. If a lawyer is working pro bono, no. And it's such a clear-cut case that she would win immediately. They'd have to settle. This case is so clear-cut that the only way that Bungie can avoid trouble is if they settle outside of court. The reason they're reaching out to her is because they know that they're in trouble. Bungie's not stupid. They are aware that they fucked up and massively. That's why they're reaching out. Normally they don't. If the artist and the company are not from the same country, things could get a lot more troublesome. But she could hire an American lawyer and travel to America to sue. You think that a lawyer would not take this just for the clout? Of course they would. And you know what? Again, keep it close. Any lawyer would advise her to not sue right away, to wait till the game is out. Because it's coming out in September, come hell or high water, chat. Thanks so much for the follow.
And followed up to ensure that we do right by this artist. We're auditing all of the previous work by the artist.
This is a case that lawyers dream of. This is a lawyer's wet dream, chat. This is a lawyer's wet dream because the proof is so blatant and so fucking obvious. Oh, wait, hold on. God, I have to post something. Oh, I'll do it in a bit. The proof is so blatant and so fucking clear-cut, guys, that Bungie has no option but to settle or go through with the lawsuit and fucking lose. That's the only option they have.
The environment decals already in the build, which is part of why we're...
Yeah, it's a very clear-cut case, and that is rare. A case this clear-cut is a rarity, chat.
Content we're going to show today. And we're committed to removing anything that is questionably or inappropriately sourced.
It's either pay up or pay up with extra steps. Yeah.
We're doing a very broad decal audit, and if we locate any other
like if she waits until the game releases, she could easily sue for like $1 million and win. Easily.
A lot of lawyers won't charge unless you win.
And if she wins this, Bungie would have to pay her legal fees.
We'll make sure that those are eliminated, recreated, in-house, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next. That Bungie has a history of doing shit like this, which is why their whole like, oh, this artist doesn't work here anymore. Please believe us. I don't buy it for a fucking second.
Hundreds of artists have worked on this project for years, internally and externally, and we share many.
But it's funny, right,
influences,
Bungie? It's funny,
including-
right? You say it's one artist, except the game's sense of aesthetic is so very, very clearly similar to Anti-Real's work. You follow her on Twitter. A bunch of your art team follows her on Twitter, so it was obviously not just one, was it? It was probably a bunch of artists that moodboarded with Anti-Real's work. Some of them blatantly stole it, but it's very, very clear that instead of reaching out and asking to hire her for this project, which would have saved you all this fucking trouble, you just got lazy. Externally, so that's what we call stealing work now? Working externally? Yes.
Modernism, Swiss typography, 2000s style vector art, cyberpunk, and of course the original Marathon trilogy.
But they didn't steal everything. They did. They took heavy inspiration from her work, but they did steal some of it.
As a result of all of those inspirations, and it's also worth noting that none of our external partners.
We are currently discussing the allegations against Bungie that a bunch of the artwork in their new game Marathon was actually stolen from an artist called Anti-Real on Twitter. She has very concrete proof. She called them out, and she did it about the same day that they had a big stream about the game coming out. So this is them addressing the issue. Not very well, if you ask me, but they're trying.
Worked on branding or any part of the visual design.
A game with as many devs as this could not have just one artist be responsible for this. Yeah, no. You know how many fucking checks they do for shit like this, for games like this? They knew what they were doing.
Were involved with this situation. And lastly, personally, I have a huge amount of respect and admiration for artists working independently, and producing, and making a living, doing commercial or fine art. And we've worked with many of them. It's one of my favorite parts of the job is to make those connections.
For me, statements like that are very disingenuous as an artist myself. Companies don't just reach out to smaller artists. They never do. They never do. They steal from them, yes. And this happens a lot. Bungie's not the only company that does shit like this. A lot of them do it. What they do, though, they do hire and they look at a lot of portfolios, but sometimes they see an idea they like and they think that no one's gonna notice if they just yoink. There is no respect for small artists in games like this, in at least studios this big, okay? Studios this big have mountains of resources and people that they can work with, and it's so easy for them to just go into someone's Twitter gallery and just, boop, steal their work. It's not right. It's not proper. They should not do this. If you actually do care about smaller artists, you should reach out to them and hire them. But obviously, we're not doing that, are we?
Create content and collaborate. And so to that extent, I want to send my personal apology to Anti-Real, whose work was used in this case. And I know how unfair this feels, and we're doing everything we can to make this right with her. Her work is fantastic.
He is reading a script. He is reading a script.
And we clearly
Part of the reason he has a hat is so you can't see his face. Fucking no. I'm joking. But he is reading a script. He's looking down. Like, very clearly, this is a pre-prepared statement that they got from HR because they need to do that. He also did mention he was reading before he started. So this is why it doesn't come across as very sincere.
Appreciation for a specific genre of graphic design. And it's very exciting. And I'm excited to have folded that into our style in general. So thanks for listening and thanks for your patience.
So absolutely. And thank you, Joe, for coming in and chatting with us.
And
about
that's
that.
them addressing this issue. Personally, I don't find this apology very sincere. And here's why. The reason it's not sincere is that before this, they already acknowledged this issue on Twitter. That was the whole apology? Yep. They've already acknowledged this. Forget sincerity. I didn't find that very apologetic because it's not. And here is why. They acknowledge the issue. And they say, we immediately investigated a concern. Okay. We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist, which we're not going to name because they're probably not real, included these in texture sheet and was ultimately used in game. This issue was unknown by our existing art team. And we're also reviewing how this oversight occurred. It wasn't an oversight. Bungie has almost 1,000 employees. What do you mean one artist was responsible for this? What do you mean? This is a company with a legal team, PR, HR. Are you kidding me? Companies this big take fucking 50 passes to approve anything. Are you joking? There is no way in God's green earth dick that you guys did not know that these assets were stolen. No fucking way. Not with how big your studio is. We take matters like this very seriously, and we have reached out to Anti-Real, baby girl don't answer them, to discuss this issue and are committed to do right by the artists. As a matter of policy, we do not use the work of artists without their permission. It's not the first time, Bungie. To prevent similar issues in the future, we are conducting a thorough review of our in-game assets. No, you're not. The game is coming out in September. Specifically those done by the former Bungie artists, which we're not going to name, and implementing stricter checks on documenting artist contributions. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games. Anti-Real did not contribute to your game. You guys stole her shit. And we are committed to doing right by them. Again, she wasn't working for you. Thank you for bringing all this to our attention. She wasn't working for you. You guys stole her shit. And this is why this apology is not sincere. They posted this, not on the official Bungie account, not on the Marathon account, but on an account with 11,000 followers. For reference, Bungie has... Marathon the game has 117,000. They posted this to an account with 1/10 of the following that the actual game has. We didn't want anybody to see this, did we, Bungie? We wanted to sweep this under the rug, didn't we, Bungie? Oh, you're joking. No, I am not. Fucking comedy. They literally put this in the smallest account possible so no one would see it. But oh, Bungie, this is the internet. Everyone is covering this. And now you've got me fucking involved, even though I don't play fucking first-person shooters, because guess what? I'm an artist and this shit makes me irate. Dear gods. Yeah, no. I don't believe for a second that you people did not know that this was happening. This does not make the apology look sincere. This makes the apology look fucking ham-fisted and scripted in so you wouldn't get in trouble with legal. And it has 2.5 million views, so good job on trying to hide that, Bungie. Great job. You cannot hide a tank in an open field, Bungie. But lastly, to finish off this segment nice and round and polished and shiny like a boob, this is not the first time Bungie's done something like this, chat. Bungie has a history of stealing shit from other artists, namely for Destiny.
They're not sorry about stealing the work. They're sorry that they got caught.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. Thank you very much for the super chat. Pull up the receipts. This is another artist that designed a gun that ended up in Destiny. Guess what we did? We inverted the color palette and flipped some stuff around and hoped that nobody would notice. Oh, what the fuck is this? Come on, man. This was an artist called Tofu Rabbit. Hey, Bungie. So, the Nerf Face of Spaces directly lifts a commission I did in 2015. This is not similar or coincidence. You can see my same brush strokes and scratches and smudges on the gun. Blatant plagiarism. Are they even trying? No. Completely shameless, chat. Like, again, shit like this makes me irate as an artist myself, because you think, as someone with an internet platform, maybe you're a really big artist, maybe you're not, but, like, you're not someone with, like, millions of followers. You're like, well, I don't have anything copyrighted, and I don't really have the resources to copyright this, but it's okay, I'm such a small artist, I don't have to worry. Wrong! Wrong. You do have to worry. Because if companies like what you're doing, they are going to steal your shit. So this is why I don't believe them for a second when they say that, oh, we didn't notice. Yes, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing. You are only fucking panicking and scrambling now because you got caught. Honestly, if you ask me, this game should be delayed indefinitely. And you either hire anti-real or she fucking sues you for all that this game is going to be worth when it comes out, which is sadly not going to be much because at this point, this game is at trash fire. The only good thing about it was the aesthetics, and now it turns out that we've stolen a lot of the work for it, and it's just such a fucking shame. I think Bungie should definitely consider delaying this. Sony's not going to let them. The game is probably not going to perform very well. Cancel the damn thing. Redo it. The game is dead now. They failed to extract with the artwork. Yeah, no, she shouldn't work with them. She'd get fired immediately anyway. If they stole my art, I would not want to work with them. No, she probably doesn't. She was very exasperated, though, because she's like, I took, like, 10 years to develop this aesthetic, and they just came in and yoinked it without emailing me. Yeah, no, they cannot cancel it, and I don't think that they could delay it. It's not looking good for Marathon. In conclusion, just because you are a big company does not mean that you get to fucking get away scot-free from stealing from smaller artists, because the internet exists now, and we can call that shit out, and word gets around. People learn. People talk. Artists talk. And the sad thing is that shit like this happens in big studios all the time. Some artist gets lazy and lifts art from somewhere that they found that is cool, but this is why you have a legal team. This is why you have an art director, people who can vet the designs and make sure that they are original. This is just insane negligence on Bungie's part to let something like this go on the game. In, like, best case scenario, this is absurd negligence. Worst case scenario, they knew exactly what they were doing. And considering that a lot of the devs were actually following anti-real, from what I hear, I don't think it's the best case scenario. But yeah. Like, if you fucking, like, what about the current Marathon employees on our team that literally follow the artist on this app? Your whole art team follows the artist that has been developing this art style for 10 plus years, and you didn't think to give them any attribution? This is not an oopsie that you can blame on a former employee. Your current employees follow this small artist with a niche style, and then you just coincidentally happen to launch an entire game themed after it? I'm not buying it. Yeah. I don't know how true this is because it's just a tweet, but if this is true, it was on purpose. They ganked her aesthetic on purpose. So to end this segment, so I can do something else for the rest of the stream, chat or YouTube comments, what do you guys think? I personally think that this is pretty blatant and it's absolutely unacceptable for a gaming company as big as Bungie to not thoroughly vet their artists and check that the work that they're making is original. It's completely insulting to anti-real. I think that she should lawyer the fuck up. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is as clear-cut and as blatant as they say? Do you want to assign the Bungie devs some good faith? What do you think? Honestly. Genuinely curious. Because I decree Marathon trash. And yeah, if you like this segment, probably going to be a video. Like, comment, subscribe. Please fight your demons in the comments. And by demons, I mean Bungie. And tell me what you think, because I genuinely want to hear it. And remember, we have free shipping on Gamer Subs up until the 23rd of this month. So if you want to restock or try the product out, use code KINKIMATION for 10% off at checkout and free shipping. All right, with that, though, we can chill for a little bit. Whoo, boy, that made my blood fucking boil. You know what the only good thing about this was, chat? The fucking stream healed my soul. That stream, that 1,000-yard stare, healed my soul. I am sweating, chat. Ugh. I am fucking sweating, because most people will be like, Lily, why are you covering gaming news? You don't even play first-person shooters. I needed to cover this from the artist's perspective, as someone who works exclusively on the internet. And believe it or not, while no big company has ever taken my work, my shit gets around a lot, and it's always frustrating. So yeah, I can definitely relate to anti-real here, and that must be insanely frustrating. I get you to go for some Bowberry on Gamer Subs. Yeah, also remember, there is a limited edition Shy Lily tub right now, so if you guys want to snatch that, once they sell out, they're sold out. So I already got myself a caffeine-free version. If you want to get it, make sure you go for it. It's blue, it's super cute. I say that she ought to sue for everything she can. I think she should wait. So you should wait to sue until the game comes out. Yeah. That was cathartic to listen to, LMAO. Thank you. You're welcome. And big props to Ubend for doing most of the research for this segment. Very, very helpful. Get around a lot in what sense of the word? In the sense of the word that people fucking post it everywhere. Yeah. I'm gonna chill for a little bit. Oh my god, that made me like, oh, so mad. This is so bad. Marathon is not an iteration to be to the older title that came out in 1996. It's following a trend that's getting harder to be a part of. An awful, awful case of art plagiarization. Yeah, this one is so clear cut. It's not even funny. This is so bad that Bungie has done reputational damage to the AAA industry as a whole. Yeah, no, I think that Bungie really needs to take the L on this. I don't think they're gonna, but they should. I need some water. Why is it always the shooters that go into art direction hell? Money. So, first-person shooters are the most popular gaming genre out there, and as the most popular genre, it is Grifter City. Everybody wants to get in on that shit, so there's a lot of grifting in the industry. What would Sony even do? This is their second disaster in less than a year. Ooh, best case scenario, they cut their losses and try again. Worst case scenario, Bungie gets shut down. I would say what a shame, but I'm pretty sure that the OG Bungie devs have all left a while ago. Can somebody tell me, did the OG Bungie devs leave the company at any point? Because I don't think that they're making, that the OG people who made Halo are working on there anymore. Yeah. Yeah, this might be it for Bungie. If this game does not sell well, and I don't think it's going to sell... it's not going to sell badly, but it's not going to sell well enough to fucking make back the profit that they need to make back. It was already doing pretty bad, opinion-wise.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry. It makes me think that it's more ethical to top up in Z's rather than spend a dime on Marathon.
At least all the artwork in Zenless is unique. Thanks so much for the super chat. Most of them are gone. I think some of them even start a new studio. That's what's gonna have to happen, is a changing of the guard. Most of the OGs are completely gone. Sony has taken some of the talent, though, and redistributed them already across Sony Game Studios. Sony hired Bungie to guide Sony's live service projects since they had expertise in the genre. Bungie might get shut down. They were already not doing well, and this game is not going to do well either. The thing is that first-person shooters are a seriously overflooded market right now. Grift Central! Is there any company with their OG dev team intact, or at least in contact? Sorry for being so negative. No, but that's not so much because they're bad. It's because time happens. As far as we know, at least Fortnite actually asked permission for the OC guys. Did you guys hear about the Darth Vader AI? Holy shit, that was funny as shit. Like, so they used, with the family's permission, the voice of the late actor that played Darth Vader to give him an AI voice in Fortnite, and so far they've had to patch it out because it started swearing, saying slurs, saying no gamer words that have to do with bad things, insulting people, and it was a shit show. Yeah, no, they had to patch it out. It could curse. It learned the worst of the genre immediately. Jesus Christ. It was... I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Like, on the one hand, it's good that they got the family's permission to do that, because most companies would have just done the AI thing without asking. But on the other hand, did we really not think this through? It's like when fucking Google Gemini was new and it just became racist. This has happened like 7 times already, that they make AIs and they immediately just learn the worst of humanity. Immediately becomes racist. This has happened a few times. Of course they didn't think it through. They only saw the dollar signs. They had safety guards apparently, but not enough. No, not like apparently Darth Vader is just racist gamer words now. He was actually fine with his voice being used in AI before his passing. This was part of his contract. Oh, if he was cool with it, that's fine. See, consent is important. AI is not a problem when you can consent to it. They never learn. It's a slippery slope though. So yeah, remember when Google Gemini first came out that they actually had to retcon that shit because it immediately became racist? Yeah, similar issue. Like, that's the worst part, is that Vader would say slurs, but, like, they don't want that shit in the game, chat. Could you look up the art of pre-2001 Bungie Halo and Bungie stuff? Maybe. If I play Halo, I'll look at it. It's very funny, but it's the voice of a dead person, and the family gave their permission. So yeah, no, here's the thing. He gave permission, too. Normally, using the voice of a deceased performer would give me ick, but if he gave consent before he passed, then it's fine. What about fake and fantasy slurs? Yeah, why do we want to use Earth slurs when we can just make up our own? I could call you guys a necromorph slur right now and none of you would know what it means. The Flumbus slur? God, I saw a video on the history of Rick and Morty today. Fascinating stuff. Slurs beyond comprehension. Yeah, Eldritch slurs are different, okay? Lily calling the orcs greenskins in Oblivion. Oh, but like my Oblivion character is like racist as shit. Arlene is Oblivion racist. Arlene hates everybody. The old marathon lore is a trip in and of itself. Why was that auto-modded? Are you ever gonna go stream TF2? Maybe someday? I have no idea. Can you please make an Elder Screech pretty please? Oh, my throat, though. All of my noises are already Elder Screeches. Like, I don't know why you guys are asking for more. People are like, you should have a soundboard, but it's like, I don't need one. I am a soundboard. Like, sometimes I'm just like, whoa, randomly, and I like it. Even when your throat hurts. I mean, right now I'm fine. There's been times, like I lost my voice after the TF2 stream. Because we were screaming and, like, fucking laughing so hard that I just completely, I woke up the next day like, ugh. I assumed you calling us Sphinx was already a necromorph slope. No, Things is cute. Things is because I like you guys. You're goddamn gnome. I am my own soundboard, honestly. And the enemy aliens in Marathon were the spit, pronounced spit. I think most of the OG Bungie games are Guerrilla and Santa Monica now. Makes sense. Random, baby, on the stream. I said owner in public once. Yeah. I thought that hubby was next to me and it was just an old man. I was just like, oh. You like us? Yeah, I do. I think you guys are great. Did you see the art director live stream? Yes, I did. I did see it, and it was very, very hard not to laugh because that dude looked tense. It was hilarious and also very sad. It was cinema. It was cinema. Like... The evil alien empire in Marathon is called the Four, pronounced Four. I like how the chat has to tell me how to pronounce things because they're assuming I'm gonna butcher it. Correctly, mind you. My career is fucking over. It was a face. Yeah, because that's the thing. If you're the art director, you are responsible for your team. You're the one that's gonna eat shit. I felt that man's soul leave his body. I think, because it did. Probably ended the stream and, like, by the way, guys, I'm fine, but, like, ugh. I would have said my piece and left. Talking about sounds, I'm always very surprised at the fact that they always sound pretty similar. I'm surprised that you don't actually have them programmed. No, I don't have a soundboard. I make them all myself. Didn't someone once complain that they went, yeah, girl, at work because of you? Yeah, I'm not sorry. Like, if you're gonna listen to me stream, you might pick up some of my catchphrases. I say them a lot. Yeah, buddy, yeah, girl, or, like, all of those other dumb things I say, they do stick quite a bit. I say energy, oh, luck stat is a thing. Like, whenever I do something and my luck stat activates, hubby's like, luck stat! What's the background music? Shazam can find it. That's because I had it made for this character. I commissioned this piece from Color Geist for Lilygoth. Oh, the baby. Oh, yeah. Do you do Lily noises outside of stream? Yeah. You made me pick up Baby Boo when talking to you. The fact that my mods are like, oh, you do you, Baby Boo. Like, holy shit, no. Oh, they... Yeah, the cute noise one. Yeah. People think I have a soundboard. I don't. It's just my voice. People also think that the triangle is a soundboard. It's not. I actually own it. I already say energy, and ironically, I blame you. I'm sorry. What do you call so many video game characters fetuses? Oh, that's just my word for a human child. So is this your boss theme? No, this is my chill theme. My boss theme is the other song that plays at the start of streams. I like when streamers have their own catchphrases. I say so much dumb shit, chat. Oh, I've caught a lot of other people calling themselves X color thing. I have coined that term. I coined that term. I take full credit for the fucking pink thing term. That's mine. Thank you. Or blue thing or purple thing, whatever you want to call yourself. Like just X thing. Meow. What game are we going to review next week? I think we're going to do the Zenless character reviews next week if all goes well, and we're going to play Doom. We're either going to do, character review-wise, either Pokemon Arceus or, the Zenless ones. Game-wise, I want to play Doom, and we're going to still be playing Clair Obscure, and, maybe Oblivion? Yeah. On a brighter note, I ordered some gamer subs with your code the other day. Thanks, by the way. We'll let you know when, how it is when it arrives. Oh, good! I might have to skip playing Doom myself since I have a lot of games to finish. Oh, I'm playing 2016, not the new one. Yakuza Kiwami, Lily, it's waiting there. Kiriwa waits. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. Oh. Your Lily noises and catchphrases will all remind me of the gamer speak from Oddworld games. What's the dumbest sound you ever made? Turkey noises. The turkey ones are the worst. Your himbos miss you, but Majima's not playable. I know it's not, I don't know if it's on topic, but you're the reason I call my character some word / thing, and your design reviews are always inspire me to draw something. Oh, I'm glad, yay. Doom or Doom? Which one's 2016? Did you see that Yakuza 0 is getting an English dub? I did, but you know what? I might stick to Japanese. Did you hear that Mudong is developing a habit of trying to buy people? What, you mean the hippo? Yeah, I mean, it's a hippo, obviously. Completely fair, Yakuza in English is cursed. No. Your noises would fit in with an old rare game like Banjo-Kazooie. Oh my god, yeah. 14 is calling for you. Ugh, I do need to do the Arcadian raids. I will go back to 14 eventually. Just like right now, I want the Arcadian dungeons to be done first. When it comes to main story, I'm not that invested right now because Dawntrail kind of lost me a little bit, but Arcadian was fun, so I want to finish that one. Split yourself in 5 and stream everything. I can't do that. We all have to be interconnected. Here's a fun fact for Lily's, Chip, and I brain. The Aztec Emperor of Montezuma supposedly had 50 cups of hot chocolate every day, but the Aztecs didn't have milk or sugar, so it was probably just trashed by modern standards. Untrue! You can have hot chocolate with just water. They actually do that in Mexico sometimes. Thank you very much for the bits. They're probably gonna be done by December. Probably. I do want to go back to 14 eventually. Their Doncho Star Portrait content is getting really good. Has it improved? Because, like, if I have to be glued to Wooklama, I'm going to split my head open. I've taken a few months off the Wooklamat, so maybe I won't immediately want to, like, fucking bash Lyria's head into concrete. Significantly good. What inspired you to become a streamer? It's funny because nothing really. I just decided to try it one day. But if you ask me what inspired me to become a more serious streamer, it was 14. It was all Final Fantasy's fault. Okay, let me explain to you the backstory of the fucking Lilygoth stream so you guys know how I got into this mess. I'd actually been streaming like 2 or 3 times a week for a while now, like a few years ago, and I opened up a batch of commissions, and I have this policy that if I'm making a comm for you, I want to know what the character I'm drawing is from, right? So someone commed me a character, Fail Ul from Final Fantasy XIV, that was in Shadowbringers specifically. Now, I could have read up on her, but I am a tryhard. I am a fucking nerd tryhard. So I was like, all right, let's play 14, fuck it. And playing it by myself, I didn't have a lot of time to do it. And one time I was actually in a voice chat with people in my community who play 14 who were helping me with dungeons. And I was just like, should I just stream this? And they were like, yes. So I booted up a stream, and so no one would fucking spam slurs in the party finder chat. I made a really scuffed PNG tuber, and I put it there in front of the chat, which is where my Lilygoth is right now. And we, like, whipped up a stream and it was great. And, like, then I realized, holy shit, this actually solves my gaming problem because I didn't have a lot of time to play games on my own. And if I stream, that's 3 hours a day that I can play video games. I'll do it with an audience, but that way it'll hold me fucking accountable so I finish fucking games. And then it just fucking snowballed from there. I finished 14, and there was a time where I was only streaming 14, and then after a while, I started playing more games on stream. I came up with the idea for Lilygoth like a year or two before I made her, and I was using another avatar as a placeholder. She was always meant to be a placeholder, but my initial avatar was like a fucking Neko-Arc version of Paulina, another character I have, which was my alert for the longest time. And then when I got to Spain, I had at least really solid concept work for Lilygoth done, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And now it's been like a year and a bit, and we're almost at 100,000 subs. Hablando de México, me sorprende que mantengas tu acento sabiendo que vives en España. Llevo muy poco tiempo aquí, creo que no se me va a quitar nunca. I don't think I'm ever gonna lose the Mexican accent, even if I have kids here and my kids won't have it. My kids are gonna have the Spanish accent. It's gonna be really funny. Oh shit, hold on. I had to post something, fuck. Speaking of. One moment, please. Thank you for reminding me, chat. I should have set this up before stream so it just has to go live. Boop. Patreon posted. And boop. Alright, it's live. Speaking of DMC. Surprise, you're getting pizza. Surprise, you're getting a lady comic this week. It's hilarious. I scripted the whole thing out. I'm having a great time drawing it, so I hope you guys are excited. You get Lady and Dante and maybe a pizza. Lady and who? Dante, who else? I'm going with the DMC 3 designs because that's the only one that I played. Oh, that's what you meant, yeah. Does the pizza fly in front of Dante's wang? No, but that would be really funny. No Strawberry Sundae? Not this one. What flavor of pizza? Pepperoni. My YouTube recommendations recommended me your 100 video special, and I had to do a triple take when I saw your name, and now I'm here. Oh yeah, that surprises people. So I hope that the community is excited. Because I've been laughing at this thing for like a week. Yeah, you guys said DMC and I was like, oh fuck, I had a post I needed to put up. I had to do a double take when I saw Animation on YouTube. That happens a lot. People don't expect me to be the same person. Like, but here's the thing: I'm multifaceted as fuck. I'm everywhere. If I'm bored and I want to try and do something, I will just do it. Fuck it. So I tried my hand at this, and I'm actually having a lot of fun. Like, it's not my main job. My main job is still art, but I'm enjoying growing as a content creator very, very much. The Lily everywhere system? Yeah. Yeah, I'm everywhere. How in advance are the comics you make? Like, are you already working on the next one? Yes. I work a week ahead. Otherwise, I would not be able to keep my schedule consistent. I would have to, like, give myself a week between posting if I didn't. Palu. I love looking at the Discord server while I do this shit because it's just Dante and pizza gifts. A lot of VTubers also do not say work as well. Yeah, like I'm not a VTuber that I don't do Fansly or anything like that. Like, get the bag, girly, all the more power to you, but I am too old-fashioned for that. Like, the most I would do if I ever made like an OnlyFans is like pinups and that's it. But I do, my artwork is not safe work, so. I don't really hide that fact. I'm not, like, ashamed of my job or anything like that. That's why I think it's really funny when people are like, wait a minute, I've seen your name before. I only found out about Lily making videos because of that She-Hulk video you collabed in. Oh, yeah. Ant asked me for my thoughts on that, and I gave them, from a character design perspective. Is it okay for you to play any LEGO game? I've played LEGO games before, and I like them very much. I've only done VA work one time for the Pink Thing comic. I did voice Lily Goth in that one, because hello, it's me. Make a not safe for work ASMR Patreon. It's just you swearing like a sailor in Spanish. Well, it's like seeing your weed dealer at the grocery store. It's like seeing your teacher outside of class. People getting surprised with something that someone with kinky in their name does not say for work. I really don't mind it. I think it's really funny when people are like, wait. Lego Horizon Zero Dawn, but that one doesn't even feel like Zero Dawn. Or Lego, you don't get to collect studs or nothing. What would you say to your past self? Be patient with yourself. Is it okay to stream Lego games? Yeah, I think so. I'm surprised you didn't do a Dante design for your model when playing DMC or Lady Outfit. I'm working on the new one, so right now any model work I do is for the new model. Because it's taking a lot of work to make, but I'm very pleased with it so far. Like, I have a bunch of the work done. I'm still missing a big chunk, but it's getting there. The Discord has become pizza hell. Enjoy it! I followed you out on Twitter for quite a while, but I found out that you stream/made other content. I've been pretty consistent about watching the streams. Thank you! It means a lot. Like, yeah, like, I've always been the type of person that I love making content. I love making things. I like making people laugh. So, for me, trying out streaming was kind of a no-brainer, so. Hopefully I have made some of you guys at least chuckle once with my unhinged gaming behavior. / questionable take sometimes. Why Lily Goth? Like, you can be pink and goth at the same time. Please open my mind. Oh, I got this name because I'm a Shoggoth, not because I'm pink. So, like, my name is Lily, so I wanted a character that had my name in it. And I'm a Shoggoth, so I just took the goth part of Shoggoth and I put it into my name, and I made my outfits aesthetic like low-key pastel goth, which is an aesthetic that you can look into. It's super cute, and that's why my name is Lily Goth. Bubblegum goth is a thing. Yeah, I'm very bubblegum pink. Dude, a South Park Lily would be so fucking funny. Could you imagine? Lily is my name.
Dang, I miss the stream. Crying face emoji. I hate forced family functions. None of you like each other. Why am I here?
Oh my god, true and real. I almost got dragged into one of those recently. And I just stood my ground. I was like, no. Like, but Lily, why? Because I don't want to go hang out with people that don't even really like me that much for a few hours. Make my work life impossible. Make me fall behind. And I'm gonna get bored anyway. And I'm gonna be really stressed out when I get back home and I have to stream. I'm not losing if I am going to lose a full work day, I'd better lose that day eating pizza and having sex. Not doing anything else. Or drawing. If I am losing a work day, it is by my own fucking free will to do shit that I want to do. Please do it. What, should I make a Lily Goth South Park model? If I ever make like something with rewards, I'll do it. Real valid. Yeah, no, you guys know how hard it was for me to say no to this? Like, I don't mind spending time with family, but when you give me like a super last minute family gathering, I'm almost always going to say no. If you want to make any plans with me, and this doesn't just go for my family, my friends know this too, you have to tell me at least a week ahead, so I can do the work for that day ahead of time. I'm not going to miss posting because someone wanted to go get drinks. Does that make me a hard ass? Sure, maybe, but I have a responsibility to the fucking good people who pay for my artwork to deliver the goods that I promised. Es lo peor hacer planes con familia, especialmente una grande como latino. Puta, güey. Especially if they're all normies. I admire your work ethic. Thank you. It's insane, but we're getting there. Look, it's like I told my mom. Like, I know I'm gonna have to slow down someday. Like, if I have kids, I'm gonna have to take a day off a week at least so I can spend more time with them and we can go out to eat and do shit. But, like, right now, I really don't have to slow down. And like, if there are single mothers out there with like 3 jobs, I can handle some drawings with like fucking Oven in the same house as me. We both work from home. It's a dual income household. We're fine. But for now, there's no children. I can keep working in the same pace I have been so far. Do you have any advice on how to start a relationship with the opposite sex? Yeah, don't go in looking for romance. Friendship first, then build on it. But like, here's the thing, right? If you catch feelings, say so right away. Because if you don't say anything, there is a higher likelihood that the friend zone is going to happen. As soon as you catch feelings, ask them out. If they say no, you are completely within your rights to walk away from that friendship, by the way. And like, the earlier you get rejected or accepted, the easier it is to let go or to start the relationship. I think I'm in love with you. What? Yeah. I like your work, but as I'm trying to sort all this stuff, it takes a long time getting through all the single pieces that you made early on. I mean, whenever people tell me that they're trying to sort my stuff out, I'm always like, why? There's so much. Yeah, the worst thing they can say is no. How do you start friendships? You strike up a conversation. You ask questions. People love talking about themselves, chat. Ask questions. You just go up to someone. Like, tipo, I have a dog. Dogs are great conversation starters. If I see someone else with a dog, almost always a conversation starts because my dog is a fucking bitch baby and she will try and she tries to throw it down with like Rottweilers, but like she's scared of rat terriers. And people are like, oh, how old is she? And I'm like, she's actually almost 4. And they're like, she looks like a puppy. And then we start talking. You find an area of common interest and then you just go. Like, I'm making friends with the lady at my fucking produce store because she's really sweet and and I come in like once a week to buy veggies, so. Thanks so much for the follow. I was planning on wondering, do you plan on making any face cam content? Because if I recall correctly, some of your early videos had IRL footage. Not right now. Maybe if I do IRL streaming, if I go around the city or something, I might use it. But like, I really like my model. It's so convenient. And I stream so late, chat, that putting on a full face of makeup for a stream that's like after 10 p.m. is like, no. Stream without makeup? Absolutely not. But I'm not trying to hide my face or anything. If I ever went to a convention or something, I wouldn't care. I would just like, I wouldn't wear a mask or anything. It's just more convenient to stream like this. Dogs are great conversation starters because if they like dogs, if people don't like dogs, you know how to avoid them. Yeah. Buy one of those weird anime face masks to wear for IRL streamers for lows. No, I am not one of those people. I'm not ashamed of myself. I understand how some VTubers might not want to hide their might want to hide their actual face for privacy, but like, I've had my face out there before. I don't mind. You could stream naked and we would never know, dude. Like, I had times that I like low-key like been streaming almost in my underwear because it gets hot in here in the summer. Make a pet the dog stream. We would need to webcam the dog. Have you befriended the pigeon lady yet? I haven't seen her in a few months. I'm worried that she's dead. Some VTubers just show themselves IRL commonly like that. Yeah, some VTubers are comfortable with it. I don't mind personally because I've had my face out there before. Can the dog take over streams? Like right now she's asleep. We've gotten over the crying, chat. It took us 3 whole days, but the crying has stopped. You used to stream with facecam before in the past. Yeah, when I did drawing streams, I had a facecam. Now that I'm like fucking streaming at weird ass o'clock hours in the night and I'm not really drawing on stream anymore, I like the model. I actually started streaming way before VTubers were even a thing. I only transitioned into it later because it was really convenient. I don't find that invasive at all. Like, again, I am a semi-public figure. I've never really tried to hide my face, nor do I want to, so... Is Puppy happy? Yeah, she's fine. She's eepy. Yeah, like I used to do drawing streams back in the day. I do them sometimes, but very rarely now. I prefer to play games, since I'm drawing all day anyway. Can we hear Hubby again? I mean, he's around. Maybe, like, I do want to have him on stream in the future. Like, once I get my own place and I have a decently big office space where I can actually put 2 chairs in here without getting super cramped, we can think about it. And without, like, having interference between both microphones. Would Hubby get his own model eventually? He's not much of the streaming type. He likes the cat thing I made for him. Yeah, there's some clips of me on Twitch of IRL Lily. I'm not gonna take those down. I'm not ashamed of it. We need Obed noises. He doesn't have noises so much as, like, weird things that he says. Most of the stuff you draw is not streamer friendly anyway. Yeah. I can't work on stream. I mean, I can, but if I'm doing a just chatting stream, like, I'm working on the Pokemon right now. But I can't show you guys, so it's just me. Make it a date night. Date night. Hubby plays a game, and I just talk to chat in the meantime. That would be cute. Or we play a game together. Like, we can make him play Donkey Kong Country because that game scares me. And he's already beat it. Cats or dogs? I like both. Does Hubby have facial hair? Yeah, he does. Stubble sometimes. I prefer him clean shaven, though. You can't fucking kiss somebody and have them, like, fucking your face. Have you ever considered drawing for stream content? Oh, yeah, definitely. But it has to be safe for work stuff. Fansly, but it's you drawing, not safe for work. Do people stream on Oh, yeah! I guess I could make a Fansly account to stream my work. Oh, yeah! I don't know why that did not occur to me at all. I think it's hilarious that your episode's all about cats. We have a dog IRL. Yeah, but like my dog looks like a fucking fugly cat. Trey copy into playing DS3. I think he's already played that one. It's more of a bingus, but I'd have to pick when I do Fansly streams if I ever did artwork there. You know what? You know when I would do it? If I was like super distracted and I needed to fucking chat to hold me accountable, that's what I would do Fansly streams. Is like, watch me work on this boob so I don't get ADHD and go to YouTube. How long have you been with Puppymation? We've known each other for like 10 years, but we've only really been like, we've been married for about a year, and we dated for like a year and a half, 2 years before that. But we've known each other for quite a while. We've been friends since college. You go on a 2-hour rant about a nipple? I would! Bunuis or lizard? Bunui. How do you propose? Here in Spain, actually. Is your husband bi like you? No, he's aggressively straight. My man's be about as straight as a fucking broomstick. Super straight? Yeah, he's super straight. No, he's not bi, he's straight. The big hetero? Yes. Wait, isn't there a platform art for Dusty Borgar streams? Picardo, I think it's called. It gets awful bandwidth. That would actually be something that I would be concerned with Fansly. I don't know what the streaming quality there is. I'd have to ask someone that works on there. I think that... Does Project Melody did stream on Fansly? But like, I know of a lot of not safe for work content creators that do streams on Fansly, so it can't be that bad. Hi. Honestly, it's a shame that there's not outside Kinkimation fan art, like people making comics for, of you bullying Burpo going from Ping to Eldritch Horror Thing. I mean, if people want to make fan art, by all means, go right ahead. I encourage it. I love that shit. But I'm not that big of a streamer, and like, I'm a decently well-known artist, but artist clout and streamer clout are completely different beasts. That being said, though, I'm doing fucking awesome because I almost have 100,000 subs, so yeah. Fans idea, watch hentai and point out everything wrong with them. Oh, you guys would hate- no. You guys would hate me. And we can't make content out of that. We'd get banned immediately on YouTube. I don't bully my husband. He bullies me. I want to see more Lily Goth art. You'll get some. You'll get some. I'm working on things. Why would we hate you? So much of it is just abysmal. Because I'm a giant stick in the mud? I'm not. But I have very clear principles that I like to stick by, and sometimes that bothers people. Like, I take not safe for work very seriously because it's my job, which means that I have standards, some of them pretty high, and a lot of people get offended when you don't like the thing that they like. Like how you hate asymmetrical shoes with a burning passion. What's the weirdest comment you've seen on your channel? I don't tend to read them, believe it or not. Wave has filtered out some shit, though. Wave would know. Like, some of them get, like, fucking, yoinked from being posted publicly, and they, like, have to be manually approved. Wave usually goes through those. I don't look at them, though, like... Especially after, like, your editor seems to read them. They're even harder than my comment. Oh, yeah, Wave reads them. I tend not to. If I know that a video is content that's, like, gonna have a lot of discussion, sometimes I check, but not usually. but 9 times out of 10, the reason why Wave looks at the comments and I don't is because I'm working. I would lose so much time going through comments if I did. Like, I would love to, like, watch conversations on YouTube, but I'm so busy that I just can't find the time. What do you think is the most negative aspect of not safe for work? Oh, the amount of fucking content that relies on treating a woman like a prop and not a part of an act of intimacy. Or a man as a prop as opposed to an act of intimacy. Oh shit, Hubby just told me something. So breaking anime news. Do you guys remember the Blue Lock anime slideshow? Well, turns out, there's something worse out there. I've just been informed by my research team. Check out the fucking... This isn't Blue Lock. This is... If the Blue Lock was PNG, I raise you. Guilty Gear. Oh my god. Those aren't even moving. Those are static images. That's not even animated. Those are static images. Babe, where did you find this? Oh? Oh my god. And then it's just from animated static images. Probation just went, we interrupt this program to bring you some incredible newsflash. Sometimes he does that shit that I'm like streaming and he's like, Lily, 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 Lily. So I have to be like, what? So like, if you ever like see my model's mouth moving, sometimes I'm talking to him. Look at that. Look at that. Is the site I'm using to watch the dual rulers bad, or is this climactic battle a PowerPoint presentation? It is! It's fine, I just did not expect it to be Record of Ragnarok. Oh, Scruffy must be so upset. Did they just run out of time to animate? Yes. Oh. Arc System Work was supposed to be involved with this. What happened? Wasn't Arc System supposed to be involved with the production of this? What the fuck happened? This was made in 3D. How are you using static screenshots? It's the easiest thing to animate. Well, it's not, but whatever. And that was your breaking news, chat. That was the Guilty Gear anime? Wow, I'm normally not concerned about things like that, but that's just lazy, yeah? That's so disappointing. Like, there's better cutscenes in-game. From what I've heard about that anime is that it's not doing so hot. And not just the animation either. The story and lore are supposed to be fucked too. Genuinely, thank you for strictly drawing consensual sex as the only sex that matters. Yeah. I genuinely don't like how prevalent non-con is, and I don't like that people don't enjoy each other. So that's something that I'm trying to change. It's just that scene, right? We don't know. It can't be that horrible, right? Do some research and tell me. How did you and hubby celebrate your first animation? I hope it was memorable. We both forgot. we went out to dinner the next day because we were both like, wait a minute. To be fair, like, he's awful at dates and I'm awful at planning stuff. So like, we both forgot and we were both like, oh shit, let's go out. Checks out with the two of you. So you're both awful, got it. Not really, no. We just express our love for each other in different ways. I buy him... He buys me treats. I buy him gummies or Kinder Eggs when I see them. I get him cute t-shirts. He gets me snacks. Sometimes he just brings me random gifts for no good reason. Like, we prefer to do little spontaneous things as opposed to just doing things on set dates. And the dog gets num-nums. She's so dead asleep, chat. So a lot of your marriage is founded on food. I respect that. He's been stealing my leftovers since we were friends in college. Hold on, I need to fucking text Scruffy right the fuck now. Like, what the fuck is wrong with- what the fuck is going on with the fucking Guilty Gear anime? I feel that better than dates. Yeah, and like, for example, I like to sit with him while he shows me brain raw Instagram reels, or we watch anime. We watch anime together every day. Your husband slides towards the leftovers like Jamroquala towards the camera. No, like, when we were in college, there was always a Chinese menu that I really liked that I could never finish. And without fail, every time, I could always count to find hubby in the fucking lounge for my major and be like, hey, do you want this chicken? I can't finish it. And it was like, ooh. Scruffy as in the VTuber? No, Scruffy Turtle's the artist. Have you ever planned to collaborate with someone in a stream? Yeah, I've done it before. I'm really bad at collabs, though, because I'm, like, painfully shy. But, like, with the Pokemusu video that I'm planning, hopefully I can do some Smash or Pass collabs, because I think it would be really funny. Wow, what a dream, girl. You like randomly bringing you food. He used to bring me Cheetos. My timeline has spontaneous appearances of Italian brain rot animals thanks to you. I'm so sorry. Have you ever caught him eating in the middle of the night like an animal? You mean rat behavior? You mean the shit that he does in my house already? Yeah, I've seen him do that. Anybody you'd like to collab with? A bunch of people, really. I'd say marry that man, but you already beat me to it. Yeah, mine. I need to see more Smash or Pass Pokemusu. I'm making the videos so we can do that. I'm making Smash or Pass that people don't have to go in and read the whole lore. I don't mind if you guys don't read it. Does he have anything to say about these things that you're saying about him? He doesn't mind. I like lore, don't worry. No, it's not because you don't like lore. It's because that doesn't make entertaining content. Guy, no, I need my chat to become content brain. I need to teach you guys what the fucking content brain is all about. Because, like, when you're planning a stream, chat, sometimes there's things that you have to not do because they won't be entertaining. It's not because I don't want you guys to read the lore. I think it's sweet that you want to do that. That's not fun, though. What, you're gonna watch a streamer read fucking shit for 3 hours? No. You want Smash or Pass, you want go, 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 go. Like, sometimes planning a stream is more about the entertainment than anything else. I'm content brained. I've become more content brained the more I do this. And so I can easily pinpoint now what's something that my audience is going to want to see and what's something that they're not going to be super interested in. People can barely pay attention to a video for more than a minute. Do you think people read? Yeah, exactly. God, the Markiplier edit that fucking Wilson did, it still lives rent-free in my head. It was so funny. Like, for example, the Yakuza stream. Anytime people were like, oh my god, do side content, do the cabaret. Whenever I went, the fucking viewership on the streams would dip. People would be like, no, we want to see it. No, you don't. People left immediately. It's like when you're doing grinding on stream, people just dip. You gotta do story mode. You gotta fucking keep it interesting. You gotta keep it varied. Should have done Mahjong. No! You guys would have fucking left. What was your favorite story? Oh, in Yakuza, I really liked the one of the girl with the crossword puzzle that was gonna get proposed to, but she was playing dumb because she just wanted the dude to be like, propose to me. Yeah, people might like you for entertaining moments, but actually getting audience retention as a streamer is really difficult. I'm doing really good, though, so far. The Kinky Nation is growing. The pink thing gains more things to feed off media-wise. Just tell your friends, sub to the channel. You have no idea how much that's helped us out. Like, we're almost at 100,000 subs. It's a gigantic milestone. I'm so proud of this community. Do you ever plan to do Kiwami? It's been tempting me. Did you finish up the DMC anime? What do you think of it? I didn't like it. Lady was an asshole. I'm fixing it. You're getting Lady next week. And with that, chat, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I have some work to do before I go to bed, but things, I love you, I cherish you, and I will see you tomorrow for some more Clair Obscure, alright? Have a good one, guys. Go drink some water. Bye!